Artisan.com. See what the artist procedure can do for you.
These are actors and not real patients.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Watkins with your Sactown Sports headlines. Today, Carmelo Anthony retired from the NBA after 19 seasons. Carmelo last played for the Los Angeles Lakers in the 21-22 season and has not played at all this season. He retires as the ninth leading scorer in the league with 28,289 points. He was also an NBA All-Star 10 times, was a six-time All-NBA player, and a three-time Olympic gold medalist. Tonight, the Nuggets will look to sweep the Lakers in LA to go to the NBA Finals. Nuggets took a 3-0 lead against the Lakers on Saturday, and Jamal Murray had another monster game, scoring 37 points to go along with 7 rebounds and 6 assists. Those are your headlines. Now let's get to Chris and Co. with Jason Ross.
I'm waiting for the breakdown. Is this just on the loop? I know there's another kick down coming up. Is it coming in? Oh, good. There it is.
How does it feel?
Sounds like some good roller rink music here.
Yes. Have you ever been to a roller rink, Chris Watkins?
Not in the past 15 to 20 years. I have 2 left feet. I can't skate to save my no. Can't ice skate? Can't rollerblade? Can't. Yeah, I've been told inline blading is a little bit easier. Can't do that either.
No,
2 left feet.
Chris Verlade, can you roller skate?
No.
I would pay to see Verlade. I could see Verlade being that guy in the roller rink who's backwards skating.
Definitely not me.
Nah, that's all you.
That's what I vision I'm doing, but really I'm just waddling.
I could see you being sneaky good.
I'm the person that's on the wall.
Yes, straddling the wall the entire time.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I
need
confidence.
Those walkers that
those
they
are
give.
Great. Those supporters.
Great. Oh my God. Big walker and the scooters as well that they give the kids. Yeah. Big time.
My goodness.
Shout out Cal Skate and King Skate.
So that's actually a question as we welcome into Chris and Co. He's Chris Watkins. I'm Jason Ross. That's Chris Verlade.
Getting to the brass tacks to start off the show.
Forget all this other stuff. We got to talk about skating. Did they do that? Was that a thing still? 5th grade, 6th grade, skate night? Is that a thing still?
Yeah, I think maybe my 1st grade birthday party was at.
Okay, but didn't the school not a dance, but I remember. Now we have generations between you and I, but I remember there was I think it was 5th or 6th grade was skate night. Maybe it was. I feel like it was once a month, but it was probably twice in a school year, maybe.
I think there was a skate day where they would take the whole, 1st through 3rd grade would go to Cal Skate or King Skate and go, spend probably half the day there. But like you're saying, it felt like it was the full day, and it felt like it was once a month. But it was probably there's no way it was more than once a year for us. But it felt like by the time I hit, I don't know, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, they were pretty much out of the equation. And I don't know if that's just with time or if that's just kind of an aging out kind of thing.
True or false? This person here.
Laurent.
Rollerbladed to class at UC Davis.
Ooh, well, I'm going to say that's true because I don't know why you would make it up. Maybe you skated? Were you a skateboarder?
Your first instinct was correct. True.
True
or false? And Chris is laughing in there. Let's just put it all out there.
Would you have replacement shoes to put on when you got to class?
In your backpack.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, because I'm not carrying the skates around.
That would be ridiculous.
What did I do with the skates? I don't remember.
Just threw them over your shoulder, probably.
True or false? Let's add another element to this. I did skate to class. That's true.
Yep.
Shirtless.
Wow.
It's college.
It's
pretty fit, man.
I was
had to show off the goods, maybe.
I'm gonna
false.
say false, or else there'd probably be some rules in place to be we can't have another Jason Ross situation.
Yeah. It's true.
It's true.
What's wrong with me?
How long are the shorts?
You know?
How long?
Oh, that's a great question, too.
Not long
Not
enough.
long.
And very, I would say, minimum of 3 different colors on them.
How
Might
long?
have even been like the bathing suit short or something. Like
I can see that.
How long were the shorts? How long were the socks?
The socks.
The socks were longer than the shorts.
Maybe, but I don't remember. The socks had to go above the blades. Just
Oh,
like
right. Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But they weren't like knee highs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting way too full of a picture right now.
Now you
Yeah, I
got
can
it.
really see.
I mean, I think I was going to like anthropology 101. You're like, yeah, it's
Right.
boring, but I'm skating in.
Yeah. Did you have your
Skating in.
pads on, your elbow pads, knee pads, safety concerns?
For a while, I had the
The gloves,
wrist things
yeah.
because they said like if you fall, you'll
Right,
really.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
you
why I was like
break your wrist,
snowboarders.
right.
But then I was like, I'm too
cool
good.
for that, you know.
Yeah. Okay, that was
Too much
short-lived.
clothes.
Yes. Chris, how are you?
I'm
now
great.
that you've got that awful
now
visual
that
in your
that's
head.
in my head, I've been better, but it was a good weekend. You know, we'll get into it, but the basketball wasn't the most entertaining. But it's the stories are there, which is all that we care about. And it was nice to have a day off. I got to do Saturday with our guy Charles T. Hamilton.
That was
great.
Okay, now you've told me a little bit about Chuck, one of our favorites.
Yes.
Length of the hair sounds like it was longer than my shorts.
The hair was wild on
Yeah.
Charles T. Hamilton's head. It was it's just like he's got the side shaved and he's just rocking a top pony. And that
pone?
thing is like, he's looking like a samurai these days.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So the side shaved?
Sides are completely shaved
Wow.
and he's just got the top, and the top is just a long snake.
Living his best life.
Living his best life for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No.
We love Charles T.
Yeah.
Hamilton.
Love to have him back in the building.
Was he? I'm sure there was some Warrior talk, right?
No, we actually didn't get just some Bob Myers talk a little bit,
Okay.
but no extensive Warrior talk. We did the Draymond Sacramento talk for about 5 minutes, but
Could it be?
didn't get too into it.
Okay.
He I think it's still a little fresh for him.
Yeah. The wound. The
Yeah,
wound
the
is
wound-
fresh
wound's
for
a little
everybody.
fresh.
But life moves at you fast.
Yeah.
To this point, what was it? 3 weeks ago? Yeah. Was it 3 weeks ago? Yesterday, the Kings were eliminated.
It feels like 3 months ago. but
Exactly.
yeah, no, it was. I think
Maybe 3 or 4, right?
I think I think this is the start of week 4. if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
So it was
it's
3
been
weeks ago
yeah.
yesterday. We were all at Golden One, and
Yep.
then the team ultimately got eliminated. And obviously, the Warriors have been eliminated since. The Lakers could be eliminated tonight, and so could Boston tomorrow. Man, the East is the freshest series, at least from yesterday.
Right.
And I think everybody was a little stunned that Boston lost the 2 at home. But what would their response be? And the response was that?
The response was.
Yeah, that was it.
There was that. There was no response. I can't believe it. I mean, from a team that had been there last year and has really as a collective, not just last year, but has been through the ringer. I mean, you look at Jason Tatum's playoff career. This is a guy who's almost lived in the conference finals year after year in his career. For them to just completely no show like that and just get punked. I mean, they have been punked all series long, but game 3, the Jimmy Butler stuff of it all, the fact that just none of their guys seem to show up or have any sort of fight to try and keep this thing going. I was shocked. I honestly was shocked that Boston put together that bad of a performance.
You and I talked earlier in the game, and it was like, oh, wow. I think when we started, I think I told you, wow, Boston's already down. I think it was like 9, and you
it was like the start of the second quarter.
Oh, it's like 16 now,
Yes.
and it just kept getting worse.
Worse and worse and worse.
And again, even at half, Boston, I think, had it at 16 at half. And I thought,
Mhm.
well, they're probably in trouble, but
Right.
16's doable. And with Tatum and Brown and that experience, and it went the other way,
Yeah.
and it went the other way dramatically. And it just, that to me is the game where everything is thrown out. Like it's all on the line,
Yes.
sense of desperation. Can they come back? Sure, mathematically, yes. But like that's a game they had to show more fight than they did.
Absolutely, and I from head to toe, from Jason Tatum to Joe Mazzulla, I just didn't feel like they felt like they had a chance, which is funny because this is the team that has been great all season long, and I know inconsistency has kind of been built into this Celtics team as well. But I can't believe that they made it through the tough part, right? Like they got past Philly. Milwaukee's not in here. This was meant to be a runway for Boston to easily make the finals, and for them to just completely no show against. And all credit to Miami. This feels like kind of what's going on in the Western Finals, where we're talking constantly about the Lakers and not about how good the Nuggets have been. Credit Miami for them just really sticking to who they've been all year, and really, obviously Jimmy Butler's been incredible, but those other guys stepping up as well. Gabe Vincent was incredible last night. Caleb Martin has given them game after game after game of great performances. They've really stepped up, and it goes to the top with them as well. Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coaches, if not the best coach in the NBA right now. It seems like he's been putting on a coaching clinic all postseason long, and it's the reason they're all the reason why. It's a real team effort as to why Miami's in the situation they're in now. I was honestly shocked too. Boston completely pulled their starters by the start of the fourth quarter. They gave up completely, and I could not believe that in like you laid out in an all or nothing game. Like, this is pretty much the series here. I don't care if you're down 20, 25, for you to just go into that fourth quarter waving the white flag.
If I'm a starter, I'm on my coach. I'm like, no, give me one more run. I've been terrible.
Absolutely.
But let's
give
us
this 4 minutes.
Let's get this to 16 at 8, at the 8-minute mark. Get this to 10 at the, and let's go.
Right.
And if we don't have it, we don't have it.
Right.
But
they didn't have it all night. They didn't have it all night.
Chris, I'm having trouble. Christopher, I'm having trouble with this computer, so I don't know if you can play the audio here that we've got in this segment. Yeah, so you mentioned Gabe Vincent. He was awesome. He was
former Stockton King.
That's right, and what a story he has become. And we're going to get a little bit more into the Miami Heat, just kind of who they remind you of and what they've been able to build and how they do it, their success. And you mentioned Spoelstra, but Gabe Vincent was great, and he was with the TNT crew yesterday. And you're going to get honesty from those guys. Here's the post game with a special comment from Charles Barkley.
Closeout game, in my little experience in the playoffs, has always been the most difficult. So regardless, whether we're at home or on the road, it's going to be a battle. They're a really good team. They're a well-coached team. They got stars. They're not going to lay down. So, we got to come in and handle business on Tuesday.
Yeah, clearly you didn't watch the game tonight. Stop it. Well coached and don't lay down. Go look at the tape again.
Hey, Gabe, your thoughts. He can't say anything about it. But Charles just went, you didn't watch the game.
Yeah, that is
he's right, though.
He is absolutely right, because if you watch that game, that's exactly what the Celtics did. They laid down and they showed no fight at all night long in a game that they had to have. Like, if you're not going to show up for that game, to me, that points to some real problems for Boston that they have to address this offseason. They can't go into next offseason
the same way, just
trying to rerun this back. There's no way at all.
Well, they're in a world of hurt, but really credit goes to Miami. Let's focus in on what Miami has done to take this 3-0 series lead. Who do the Miami Heat remind you of? Any other parallels, any other similarities? We will discuss that when we come back. We're just getting started. He's Chris Watkins. I'm Jason Ross. This is Chris & Co. on Sactown Sports.
It was an amazing season for the Sacramento Kings. The coach of the year.
These honors don't come around often, and so you're very appreciative of them.
The clutch player of the year.
Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Return to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years.
16 seasons of frustration. Sacramento has clinched the playoffs.
Keep it on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for all your Kings off-season news.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new place. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Live and local, it's Chris & Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
So this story of what the Miami Heat are doing, Chris, pretty impressive. If you think about it, obviously they had to go through the play-in twice. Mm-hmm. They had the dicey situation. The reward was, hey, good job, Heat. You get the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah. But challenge accepted.
Yeah, and I think about sometimes you wonder if one player's actions can carry over. And to me, watching and seeing post-game and everything, I mean, Jimmy Butler has had, and I know every player is confident, but basically when they lost last year, it's like, no, we've got enough here. Mm-hmm. We've got enough. We'll be back. We'll do this again. They lost as the 1 seed, lost to Boston, game 7 at home. So painful. Now they didn't have the same regular season. Tyler Hero gets hurt. Mm-hmm. They're, scrambling to get in. They get Milwaukee, who, Giannis was not healthy for 2 of the games, but I mean, they beat him 4-1. Take care of the Knicks, and now they're close to taking care of Boston. But basically when they were getting ready for Boston, Jimmy Butler's like, we're going to do this. Mm-hmm. And
people laughed.
Yeah, kind of. But I just feel like his confidence, maybe the whole team believed, and then obviously now they're executing, which is amazing.
Yeah, no, it's really incredible what they've done before, and I know it's really unprecedented. I mean, we just got this play-in tournament a few years back, but no team has ever made it this far, and they shouldn't. Like, it's not the NBA especially is not built. It's not a league of parity, right? Like there's not many years where you get a true surprise, especially when you're talking about the finals. Especially in this super team era that we're kind of just getting out of now. It's been, it's a foregone conclusion. I remember 5 years ago we were saying, can we just skip the regular season? Can we skip the playoffs and just get to Warriors Cavs again? And that's just not the case anymore. And it's a good sign for, I think, teams across the league that you don't really have to. You can change things. You just because you are something during the regular season doesn't mean you can't turn it on late. The Lakers are also a good example of, hey, like, things may not go your way during the regular season, but with this new play-in tournament, you can kind of, have new life in the second half of the season. So it's really crazy. I don't know if it's something that we're going to see moving forward, but at least this season, it's been a really cool kind of change of events, because it does feel like year after year, it's always going to be a top 4 seeds that are going to make the Western Conference Finals. And now we have 2 bottom tier teams, 2 play-in teams in the Western Conference Finals.
It's crazy. The Western and East. Yeah. Right. With what they've done. And it's incredible. And for Miami, the team they remind me of, Chris, and I want to get your opinion on this, is San Antonio. And what I mean by that is, just kind of, there's one core identity of like the culture. We always talk about culture in sports and how much the Kings changed their culture this year. But I think Miami has always been regarded as one of the more difficult and taxing franchises on players. Like there's like the weight clause, legendary length of practices, whether it was, I think, even Van Gundy to Riley to now Spoelstra. So that's been there, but they've also reinvented themselves. They've got the Heatles. And they were successful before that with kind of Wade and Shaq, but the Heatles, where they kind of bought the team in a sense. And this is not that team. I mean, last night, you look at their starters. I mean, Gabe Vincent and Martin was in there. I mean, they have Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler.
Right.
Who was the third? And Strus.
Right.
Like, that's their start. They have non-drafted guys that they've developed. They've gone through times where they've spent money, and why they remind me of the Spurs. Like, the Spurs were winning some titles early on where they were the best defensive team. Then there was a year or two where Pop had them as the number 1 offense and shooting the most threes. They reinvented themselves over time. And I think Miami has done the same thing. Now, they've kept Spoelstra, and he's an amazing coach. But that consistency of what they've done, no matter who their personnel is truly amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, they've built the quote unquote Heat culture, right? Like that is a real thing that people talk about, is going to the Miami Heat. You kind of know, like, what brand of basketball you're going to play, but you also kind of know what kind of players fit into that system. Like, there's a certain, they have an identity, and they know that identity, and they don't stray from that identity for anybody post Heatles. Clearly, like you said, they kind of not sold their soul, but they bought that team. They really saw an opportunity, and they went for it.
And it worked. Four trips to the finals, 2 titles.
Definitely worked. And post that, they've really doubled down on this Heat culture and bringing in really character guys who love playing basketball. And to me, that's the biggest thing, is that all of these guys, there's no ego on this team. Like, Gabe Vincent can drop 29 one day. Caleb Martin's been incredible. They're a team full of undrafted guys. They just know they're focused on their role and excelling in their role. And, if somebody has it on a given night, it'll be their night. And I think Jimmy Butler's done a great job of being kind of like a placebo star, playing up to 29 points per game in this postseason. He's been absolutely incredible. And, it's just a testament to Spo and Pat Riley and the whole organization that they've been able to create this culture that really seems like it's impenetrable. Like you can really just plug and play guys. And, it feels like they'd be perfect. I keep pushing this until it happens. Like they'd be perfect for a guy like a Dylan Brooks. Mm-hmm. Like that's somebody that you feel like their culture's so strong that it couldn't, someone like that couldn't really penetrate it. I think the Spurs is a great example because the Spurs are really the only team we've seen build that kind of culture where it truly is a fit in or fit out kind of thing.
Yeah. And Miami's done this long enough now with the kind of plug and play like you're talking about that I almost feel that, if you take that same roster of the Miami Heat and put them with
anywhere,
a less culture, a different coach, I think you get the different results where you go, well, that team just doesn't have enough talent.
Right.
But now you go, no, Gabe Vincent's enough. And Strus is enough. And Duncan Robinson is enough. And I think even back to, and I remember Doug Christie used to say this when the California Classic was one of the first years it was here, Bam Adebayo, basically played points.
He did, yeah.
And he was kicking the ball. And, he was having some success, but also getting trapped in the backcourt, looked lost. I remember there was one time there was a score and he ran down to the other end and they waited because it was like, you're not the center on this team. Like, we need you to come back. And so he would have 6 turnovers. In other games, he was better. But now look at him. And so they took, who
they
cares
fostered him. They truly tried.
Who cares if he turns it over 50 times in the California Classic? It doesn't matter as long as you don't lose your confidence. And, he and Duncan Robinson were here together then and running the exact same stuff they're doing now.
Right.
But I think Spoelstra even said it yesterday. He goes, they've been through that rep 200,000 times.
Yeah.
And so now they've seen everybody. And it's just they believe in their players. They work them hard. And then there's special players like Jimmy Butler wanted to go to Miami. I don't think everybody does besides what Miami feels like to all of us. Like, that'd be a fun scene.
Right.
But, could you picture James Harden there? I can't.
Now,
based on what we hear about James Harden, I can't.
Right.
As the guy that would work that hard to be successful.
Well, and it's not even necessarily kind of like I pointed at. I don't think that the James Harden example is an example of he would ruin the Heat culture. I think he doesn't fit exactly.
He wouldn't be a Heat player.
Right. And they're not going to change who they are just to bring in that. I think that they're past that. And unless it's like a truly transcendent talent like a LeBron, they're not just going to throw all of that away. And, I think, Miami – I'm going to continue to say it. What they've been able to build here is truly something special. And the funny thing is that we'll see moving forward is how does this, the NBA is a copycat league.
Yeah.
Is there, or every sports is copycats. Will people try and take that message of continuity and try and apply it to their own team? I don't think so. Again, I kind of
suggests no.
I feel like this is kind of a one-off, but you may see, this could, to tie it to the Kings, this could be an argument for, if you want, bringing Harrison Barnes back. That there's a level of, Harrison Barnes might not be awesome, but he's also been in this system so many times. He knows how to play with all of these guys, and maybe, it doesn't look terrific all the time, but when it matters most, could it potentially matter? Playoffs didn't speak to that, but I think that there is an argument to just doing continuity. And when you're going to turn over your team year after year after year, you might not be able to beat a team that has that level of continuity. Like that could be the great equalizer. So that's what I'm looking for, is how does this affect guys moving forward, team building moving forward.
And you get people in place that do a good job. Pat Riley to Zoe, Alonzo Mourning, and then just down the line. And then I don't remember, and I'm sure there's been a time, but have you heard rumors of Spoelstra being in trouble?
No, not since the Heedle days. I mean, really, he was on the quote unquote hot seat,
just because they had to win with that group.
Right, exactly, that first year in Miami. But since then, I mean, he seems to have that Popovich, that Steve Kerr, that longevity where it's like, we will have you as long as you'll stay.
Yeah, we got a guy we like, and he's doing a good job.
Right, he's doing a terrific job. Never won Coach of the Year, which is absolutely insane. He's just a guy who knows what he's doing, and this could be his. Brian pulled the stats for me last week that he would be the only coach that has exactly 3 titles, but there's only 5 or 6 other coaches all time that have 3 or more titles. So he's really almost stepping into rarefied air here if he can finish the job out.
Well, they play again tomorrow night. Tonight, the Western Conference back in action. We check in on the West. Is this the end of the line for the Lakers? And how good has Denver looked? We check in on the Western Conference Finals. We do that next.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Thinking that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Monday. Welcome to the start of a new week. We've got a comfortable morning out there thanks to a bit of a delta breeze. Into the afternoon, sunny skies, a bit warmer today as highs will head to the low to mid 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Plumbing, electrical, heating and air, everything that makes your home your home. With Bonnie, you sure got that covered. And right now, get your air conditioner tuned up for just $79. Originally $129. Bonnie.com.
Bonnie. With a really nice selection of excellent cars and trucks on the lot every day, M&S Auto on El Camino Avenue, right off the Cap City Freeway, welcomes you. Repeat M&S customers come back because they get great vehicles and they save thousands. 4x4s, SUVs, American muscle cars, top-selling vehicles, fair deals for way less than a brand new car. First-time buyers are welcome. msautogroup.com.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug.
Ew, a bug, get it.
But the chances of actually hitting it
over there
are statistically,
it's still alive.
Unlikely. Good thing nature's got your back. Stem bug killers combine powerful active ingredients found in plants, like lemongrass and geraniol, and scientifically engineer them into effective bug-fighting formulas, safe for use as directed around people, pets, and throughout the home. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Isn't it nice to get exactly what you want? Introducing the new My Plan from Verizon. Control what goes into your phone plan and what stays out of it. And now, get the amazing iPhone 14 Pro on us when you switch with Select Trade-in and Unlimited Plus. Get iPhone 14 Pro with My Plan at your Verizon store today. It's your Verizon. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line required. $200 Verizon e-gift card sent within 8 weeks with core data. Less up to $800 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions and additional terms apply.
You've heard all of his greatest hits. And now's your chance to see Grammy-nominated multi-platinum singer-songwriter Gavin DeGraw live at Gold Country Casino Resort in Oroville. Get your tickets now to see Gavin DeGraw, Friday, June 23rd at 8 p.m. Only at Gold Country Casino Resort. Must be 21 or older.
Wells Fargo lets you know where you stand with your FICO credit score. What if you knew where you stood with everything? Like your kids' friends.
Hey, boys. How do cows stay informed?
Dad, don't.
They read the Moo paper. Mr. Otis, you're the funniest.
It's good to know where you stand. And when it comes to your FICO credit score, you can with a Wells Fargo account.
Visit wellsfargo.com/getfico to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. FICO is a registered trademark of Fair Isaac Corporation in the United States and other countries. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Everyone knows Elk Grove Kia is home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new Kia. But did you also know that Elk Grove Kia is your one-stop place for used cars? I'm talking over 300 used cars available. With Kia's certified program, with its 165-point quality assurance inspection, we know peace of mind on used cars is important. And that's why we also offer extended service agreements on all our used makes and models. Most prices are under Kelley Blue Book retail. New car protection at used car prices. From used sports cars to used delivery vans, we got them all at Elk Grove Kia. And our financing folks have over 100 years of combined experience. So we approve just about everyone. No credit, little credit, bad credit, no problem. And Elk Grove Kia is proud of our don't like it, bring it back guarantee for up to 3 days or 150 miles, no questions asked. Why would you buy your used car anywhere else? So check us out online at elkgrovekia.com today.
Turn your highway into a smile way. Elk Grove Kia.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Chris Watkins with your Sactown Sports Headlines. Today, Carmelo Anthony retired from the NBA after 19 seasons. Carmelo Anthony last played for the Los Angeles Lakers in 21-22 season and has not played at all this season. He retires as the 9th leading scorer in the league with 28,289 points. He was also named an NBA All-Star 10 times and was a 6-time All-NBA player and a 3-time Olympic gold medalist. Tonight, the Nuggets will look to sweep the Lakers in LA to go on to the NBA Finals. The Nuggets took a 3-0 lead against the Lakers on Saturday. Jamal Murray had another monster game, scoring 37 points to go along with 7 rebounds and 6 assists. Those are your headlines. Let's get back to Chris and company with our guest host, Jason Ross.
Sitting at your desk, watch Chris and Company now. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
That's right. You can find us right there on YouTube. Hit thumbs up button right at the bottom. We appreciate that while you're checking us out. This is Chris and Co. He's Chris Watkins. I'm Jason Ross. In all week. What is a nice week to come back and get to be. You got a nice time slot here.
I do. It's pretty great.
12.
You know, it's
10 to 2, excuse me.
I've got no.
You're all the way till 2, right?
10 to 2. 10 to 2. I don't know if
I
they
signed up
told-
for till 12.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have some filling to do.
No. This will be fun.
A lot of skating talk.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be a blast. I'm glad that we get to really settle in here. Hopefully, we get some news that'll accompany us and make a good show. But I'm excited for the week.
I am too.
It should be good regardless.
30 minutes from now, Frankie Cardicelli will be joining us.
Hey.
Frankie is roller skated or rollerbladed.
No, there's no way.
No?
He has before, but there's no way he can do it well. There's no way.
Okay. I'm
I
going
just
to
can't
say
see
he's
it.
above
I can't
average.
see it. I can't see it.
Okay.
No.
We'll find
I can't
out.
see it.
Inquiring minds want to know. And we're going to ask him a lot about Sasha.
I could see him as a hockey kid, though. Now that I'm
Really?
thinking about it, I don't know.
I played a little roller hockey as a kid.
Oh, so you can skate.
Yeah, a little bit. The bad thing was it was like all my cousins and I, we all got like skates and hockey sticks at the same time.
Is it because of Mighty Ducks?
Oh, 1,000.
Probably.
Right?
Yeah.
And then
No ifs, ands, or buts.
the cousin that's the closest in age with me, she was afraid of the puck. So me and her brother thought it was the funniest thing in the world just to hit it at her as fast as possible.
Of course you did.
Of course,
That
right.
sounds
I
like
mean,
you.
Yeah,
Started
exactly.
pretty
That
early.
sounds exactly like her. Oh, you don't like something? Oh,
Yeah.
shouldn't have told me that.
Exactly. So Frankie's going to join us about 30 minutes from now. Yeah, we got a lot of thoughts on Sasha. Looked really good. Unfortunately, had the tough loss yesterday. We'll get into that. But the Western Conference Finals continue tonight, Chris, and it could be over as soon as tonight. I would say the Lakers have been competitive in really they could have won game 2 and could have won game 3. But the reality is they are down 3-0. And to me, more of this story has been maybe the portrayal of the narrative of it, like how it truly does seem like Denver has been slighted. And it feels like we can speak of this from like how Sacramento Kings fans and Kings people feel like,
right.
If this was the Kings doing this to the Lakers, I think the same thing would be said.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, this is a cute little team here, but can LeBron become the first team to come back from a 3? It's like,
right.
But why are they
right?
And they have the MVP or 2-time MVP, and Murray's playing great, and Porter. It's like, and maybe this is actually good for Denver. Keep the chip on the shoulder.
Low,
Coach Malone has been hammering away, and it's great. And they're up 3-0.
Yeah, I think it's
swing
a good
away.
Yeah, exactly. Swing away. They're in a good position. I agree with you actually that the lack of well, I shouldn't say it's a good thing that they're getting lack of coverage, but I think they should take it and run with it. They should use it as they're still flying under the radar, still use it to fuel themselves as they're the underdog. Yeah. I would say more people are talking about the Miami Heat than are talking about the Denver Nuggets. And I think it's been the story. I keep saying it, but it's been the story for them all years. They've been front runners all year. Like they've been in first place since pretty much December. I just think people got tired of the narrative and frankly, the Nuggets have not necessarily been up 3-0 in the Western Finals, but they've been the 1 seed before, and they've lost early and lost in rounds they shouldn't have lost to. So I think there became a level of fatigue with just Denver, and it kind of became I'm not going to talk about you until you do it kind of thing. But they've been fantastic. Yeah. I mean, they have not missed a step all postseason long. I think it got underappreciated how they handled Phoenix. Like we were talking. Coming into the playoffs, Phoenix was the overwhelming favorite. I mean, there was no chance that anyone was going to slow down Booker and KD, and they eventually managed to slow both of those guys down and take down Phoenix. I think it's been an incredible run for Denver, and honestly, it feels like it's their championship to lose at this point.
Yeah, I think obviously if they win this series, which I mean, it would be a humongous story if they don't, and maybe maybe something, for Kings fans that are rooting against the Lakers, buckle up if that were to happen. Yeah. Because that would be nauseating, right? Gosh. If they came, I mean, credit to them if they came back and did something historic, but if you're tired of hearing them while they're down 0-3,
right?
Oh my goodness.
They're going to be insufferable.
Yeah. But Denver's been great. And I think to your point, Chris, on the Phoenix series, I remember when it was 2-0 Denver, it's like, man, this is real. And then Phoenix came right back and made it 2-2.
Right.
But that 5th game and 6th game to finish them, was impressive. The way they did it, the style they play, and we talk about copycat league. I don't know how you copy this formula. Now they've kept Coach Malone. They've got a anchor piece in Jokic, but their other pieces have all just kind of fit. And I think they did some things at the deadline, but those things really haven't been a factor. Thomas Bryant and Reggie Jackson don't even play.
Right.
It's been that main core that got them to where they are now.
Right, absolutely. It's a beautifully built team as well. I think that's going to be the beauty and hopefully the Miami Denver final series is that it's truly 2 teams, like 2 really well thought out organizational teams that come together. And the way that Denver's built their team, they're finally getting Jamal Murray back at full health. You see how important that's been. I think he's averaging 27 points per game this postseason. It's been incredible, but honestly, none of it happens without Nikola Jokic. Yeah. Like in my opinion, Jokic makes everybody look a whole lot better. He's averaging a triple. Have you seen his numbers from this postseason? It's not
even real, honestly.
I'm not even joking. It does not look real. I mean, we're talking about somebody who's averaging he's averaging a triple double in the postseason so far. Let me get
like a significant one. Like it's not barely, right?
No, it is not barely. Here it is right here. 29.9 points per game. 13.2 rebounds, 10.1 assists.
10.1, but still.
On 54% from the field. Here's the big one. 47% from 3.
Wow.
So he's averaging just under 30, 13, and 10 on 54% from the field, 47% from 3.
30 points is crazy because he's not really a high volume scorer. Yeah. And for him to do what he's doing goes right to Coach Malone's point. Was it game? It was game 1 where they won, and he had statistically one of the greatest playoff games ever, and everything that ended that game as well. They might have figured something out with Rui Hachimura guarding Jokic, and they came back, and it's like, all right, well, Rui's still guarding him now,
right?
And they're still down 0-3. I mean, it's just he is also overall, I just think underappreciated. It's a 2-time MVP, nearly a 3-time MVP,
right?
One of the game's great players. Underappreciated.
I think an absolute generational prospect, or not even prospect. He's a generational talent. He what he's able to do with his size really hasn't been done in my lifetime for sure. But we're talking Hakeem Olajuwon, Bill Walton are really the 2 guys that stick out as like the really great big men passers, Tim Duncan as well, of course, but putting up these kind of numbers. I mean, we're talking 10 assists a game. Like everything is running through this guy. He's leading the NBA in postseason usage rating. Every single decision is going through him, and it's a big reason why you're seeing Jamal Murray get, he's having to take some tough shots, but Aaron Gordon's always seemingly open. Michael Porter Jr. is able to get open looks for himself. Bruce Brown has been my favorite player in this postseason so far. Just his ability to come off the bench and provide whatever his team needs. Some nights it's scoring. Some nights it's just being gritty and diving for loose balls.
Toughness,
I absolutely love everything he brings. I just think it's such a well put together team. You throw in Christian Brown, a rookie who still manages to make an impact on the game. What Denver's been able to put together this year has been fantastic. It's just it's what happens when it's just good to see a generational talent like Jokic also be able to get in this situation too, because a big talking point for him not winning MVP this season was that he never had the overall success. People were like, are we really going to give this guy a third MVP and put him in the conversation of Larry Bird and all these other legends, but he hasn't won a title and all of these guys have won 4? It's like, if he's been that good,
it's a regular season award too.
Regular season award, and he's gonna find. So you didn't give him the award this regular season because he didn't have the success. But then if he finds success I don't know. It doesn't make sense, and we just shouldn't devalue what he does just because his overall team hasn't reached the overall winning mark.
I wonder, now this is a stretch, but you got to go this way a little bit. When you say copycat league, you go, okay, the formula of the Nuggets, I feel like the Kings are closer to that. Now, Sabonis isn't as good as Jokic, but Sabonis is very good.
That is true.
Fox and Murray. I mean, I feel like you've got like the two anchor pieces.
Right.
And then I think when the Kings are really good, it was, hey, Murray and Barnes were good tonight, or Herter and Monk and Mitchell were great.
Right.
And that's the Brown.
Exactly.
Braun.
Christian. Well, I think it is Brown, but it's spelled Braun.
Yes. Porter.
All those guys.
KCP. Jeff Green.
Didn't even mention KCP. Right. It does. I feel like I think I get where you're going there. Like, I think the Kings could end up being to Denver's level I think their other guys might be better than the Nuggets' other guys. Maybe Sabonis isn't to the level of Jokic, and I would say Fox is probably better than Murray, though with how Jamal's played, we'll give him the respect of at least saying they're near each other. Maybe, they get the advantage by Keegan Murray being better than Michael Porter Jr. as a total, or Kevin Herter being better than KCP. I think that there's a good recipe to follow here if you're Sacramento. You already got the Jordy Fernandez of it.
That's right.
At least for now.
Yeah, and what they do need to get from the Kings side of things is the dominant home court. Like, Denver is really tough to beat in Denver. Now, there's some altitude and other things, but just
hey, we got the fans.
That's true.
Come on.
Yeah.
Just as deadly.
Yeah, and the beam.
We
think. Still for a while.
Yeah,
we got more on that coming up. We got much more basketball to get to. As we mentioned, Frankie Cardicelli is going to join us here at the top of the next hour. We got to get a lot into Sasha, the fit. Is Sasha a good fit for the Sacramento Kings? But when we come back, one other thing to wrap up from the weekend. The PGA Championship was played. Brooks Koepka wins another major, but really everything turned on Michael Block, the unsung name. Nobody knew. Now everybody knows. Why do we love stories like that so much? Chris and I will discuss that next on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The 49ers 2023 schedule is out and filled with big matchups.
The 49ers start the season with a Week 1 showdown in Pittsburgh.
At home in Week 5 against the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
And a Week 13 NFC Championship game rematch with the Eagles.
San Francisco! Plus, get every 49ers game this season on Sactown Sports. Visit SactownSports.com for the latest team news and a full schedule breakdown.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton & Price in your corner. When you call Ashton & Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and price.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I want to talk to you about my friends at American Energy. We can all agree on one thing. Your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. Now, all you have to do, go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote today. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide those great pricing options they have, the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home without having somebody coming to your house. Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. Or if you want to give them a call and talk through what your specific needs are, call 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now. Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Keeping you company with the company. It's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
We go till 2 o'clock today. Then I believe it's Rami and Jay Johnson today.
Yeah.
How about that coming up? Being at the end of the show, we'll check in with those guys. Frankie Cardicelli joins us here in a few minutes. Top of the hour. He's Chris Watkins. I'm Jason Ross. You golfed this week. I was on my golf trip, but you golfed a couple times this week, huh?
I did, yeah. I got to golf last Friday. I golfed on Thursday on my day off. Just
okay.
a little, bang out the Lamb Park 9 real quick.
Get the bug in you again?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's the I'm new to golfing all the time, especially during pandemic, it really obviously hit pretty hard, but that's the thing is the bug. The bug is really crazy. Once you go once, as I'm sure you're aware of right now, once you go once, it's like, how can I get out there again? What's the absolute soonest I can get back out there?
I played, let's see. So at Bandon Dunes, there's 5 just amazing courses. You play all 5. I played another one in town, and there's a par 3 course that has 13 holes. So I played
love par 3 courses too.
121 holes in 5 days. Woo. A lot of walking.
Are you sore right now?
Not now, but those days. Yeah, I mean, so the one day we played 36, but I will say 18 at Bandon Dunes at the site. There's 5 different courses there. But then we went in town, and there was a course that we played a second 18, but it had a cart. So that felt like we were cheating.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, because you still walk when you're in a cart, but not to the level of pulling your bag and these hills and wind and. It would almost felt like, we played that 3 hours.
Yeah.
It was like, my feet were relaxed.
Yeah.
And, but it's some of those mornings I'd wake up and go, what? Oh, man.
What hurts? Yeah.
Everything hurts.
Yeah. Like your oblique is hurting, your back, your shoulders. Yeah. A lot of swings.
But to the point where, especially near the end of the trip and near the end of maybe a round, I would just line up and hit the ball. I didn't even take practice. It's I'm loose. Yeah. I kind of know what doesn't mean I'm going to hit it where I want to, but I got the idea.
Right. Yeah. You've done enough practice swings to where it's like, what was your lowest and highest of the weekend?
I did reach one of my goals. I wanted to break 90 on all the courses, and I did.
Nice.
I didn't break 80 though, but I was in that 81 to 88 range most of the week.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Some good, some bad. I mean, there's always some ugly.
Yeah.
And some shots that oh man, I will remember that one.
Yeah. The most frustrating part that I find is especially in the getting better portion, I'm still trying to consistently break 100. I can definitely play with people. I could play with you.
Yeah, we played together. Me and Frankie played.
It wouldn't be terrible. I wouldn't be holding you up or anything.
It's just pace of play. That's
right.
all.
Exactly. But it's the fact that it takes years. Like, it's going to take me another 5 years to probably take 10 strokes off my score.
I don't know if
right?
that's true.
No?
You just have to
Okay.
play more.
It feels that way.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there is element, like even goofing off in here. We got this little like
it helps.
I literally sometimes will be somewhere I go, oh, this is just a studio chip.
Yep.
Like in my mind, whether that helps me or not, but I go, this is about the distance.
Yes, absolutely.
I've done this in the studio.
Yep.
Boom.
Muscle memory.
Yeah.
That's really all it is too.
And it's belief and confidence and
Big
having
time.
the right swing thought,
Right.
and then
Knowing your clubs.
Yeah. And then, some days it's not your day for whatever reason, but you can't let that, deter you. And I think
it's been the big thing for me this year is trying to keep it positive. I feel like too many times I'll hit it and it won't be what I want it to do. And then you end up driving to or walking up to the ball. And it's like, oh, like this is a perfectly like I could play this ball. Like, it went forward and, and I'm just trying to keep it
function here.
Exactly. I'm just trying to keep it positive. Like
Yeah.
you're saying, like the mindset is also just like a huge hurdle that you have to get over.
Yeah, it's really what the sport's all about.
Right.
The best shot I'll tell you about, the funniest shot, I'll put it this way, was one of my rounds where it was me and my buddy that went on the trip, and we had one other guy that was a single that was playing with us on this day. We're on the last hole and at this course called Sheep Ranch at Old McDonald at Bandon Dunes.
Old McDonald's.
Well, there's an Old McDonald course. Yeah. But I'm basically 15 feet below the green. So the green's elevated and it's just a straight chip up.
Yeah.
And they're both on the green, and I have the right idea, the right concept. Right. I'm open to the club, want to flop it on there, but I skull it. I hit a screamer, but it clears the top of the mound. But I'm like, I'm like, this is, and I heard them both go, whoa. And I'm like, well, I know it didn't go in because I hit it 1,000 miles an hour.
Right.
But what I had done, and I couldn't see any of this, was hit the singles that was with us ball, and mine stopped. And I didn't see it up there, but not only are these greens massive there, it probably knocked his 60 yards away off the green, down the hill, into these bushes.
He didn't mark his ball.
Yes, exactly. Now he gets to put it back technically, but I'm like, hey, thanks. I felt like I should go get it. And he's like, no, I'll get it. I did walk up the hill.
Yeah.
But like, I could have been down there for 2 months and never hit that ball again. It's the weird part.
What is that bocce ball, right? Where you
or croquet
yes,
too, or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. No, you're just playing a different sport.
Exactly. But yesterday, the PGA Championship, Brooks Koepka got the win. For him, that was his 5th major. Only 14 golfers have more, so he's becoming pretty elite there. But Chris, I think the story, maybe one of the biggest stories, became Michael Block, who's a PGA. Basically, he's gives lessons.
Right, he's an instructor.
An instructor down in Mission Viejo, and wanted to be the low amateur, and he was. But he ended up getting a top 15 finish.
Oof.
So he will be in next year's PGA. He made some money. He's going to be actually playing in the tournament this week, too, in the Colonial, I think. But, everybody's got word of him, and now all of a sudden he became like this icon and getting the loudest cheers. He hits a hole-in-one yesterday.
Nuts.
And he scrambled on 18 to basically finish in the top 15 and just got the most, victorious cheer. So why do you think it is we just love these stories? I mean, it was an amazing story.
I mean, it's the relatability, right? Yeah. It's you can literally picture, like
you and I went out there, we got an invite, and we're killing it.
Exactly.
Somehow.
Right. It wouldn't be me, but maybe you.
No, it wouldn't be me. But it would be like that.
Yes. No. Absolutely. I think it's that. It's just that. It's the fact that we can all see ourselves being that guy. Like it's he's just
dream of.
Well, it's exactly. We can't see it, but we can dream it. We can absolutely dream of that being the guy, and that everybody. You're not gonna. You're crazy if you think you're gonna win, but just to have that to have one moment, even just to get the hole-in-one, is a special enough moment. But for him to own that day like he did, that's just exactly what you dream of when you understand. We all have that moment where we understand we're probably not going to make the pros here. Yes. When the dream is not going to happen, but we still hope. You probably went over this week and you were like, man, like this is pretty great. This would be the life if you could just be a golfer, and this is what you do for a living, and the fact that you get to even live that out for one weekend is that's the dream come true. And I think we all just want to be him. It's really just an appreciation of the accomplishment that he did, what we all dream that we could do.
Well, he got a lot of attention. Here's Michael Block after his final round yesterday.
You said it yesterday.
What do you call it now?
Thanks, Amanda. I appreciate you
making me cry. It's amazing. I'm living a dream. I'm making sure that I enjoy this moment. I've learned that after my 46 years of life that it's not going to get better than this. There's no way. No chance in hell. So I'm going to enjoy this, and thank you.
We have loved watching you soak in every moment. And the cherry on top was what Jim Nance called an all-time up and down. This par save right here. What did you see?
I hadn't made very many putts today. I rolled it the same the last 3 days, and today, just for some reason, the ball was going over the lip, and that one snuck over the lip, and it made my day. And Roy was awesome, man. Everyone was awesome, and I can't thank everybody enough for being so cool to me. And cheers to the 29,000 PGA Tour professionals in the world. It's for you guys.
We cannot wait to see you next year. No qualifying necessary. That par save locked you into a top 15 finish, which means we'll see you at Valhalla.
Music to my ears, my friend. Music to my ears. Thank you.
Congratulations, Michael Block. You have been tremendous to watch all week.
That's the other part too. It's like you get to play with Rory. I mean, that would be like, I think in my mouth would just be, I'm what?
That almost adds to it too, right? It's like you played right. Like if you're playing next to one of the best, and you still, you put up, one of these incredible performances.
And he was genuinely excited for him. Rory was really happy for him.
Really, really happy for him. You could see in the video of him getting the hole in one. He's like the first person to be, you got it, like you got it.
He didn't believe it.
No, he didn't. Why would you? Why would you believe it? It's like no, like this. That's real fairy tale stuff. Like this is real. That's completely out of this world. It's absolutely incredible. And he's right. He's just like, this is for all of the PGA professionals out there. Like I am a representation of you, all the hard work that all those people, they're teaching people all across this country.
I think a lot of times in life you'll go through moments where you go, this was really great. And he's like, I don't think I'll have a better week than this in my life.
No.
And he's like appreciating
all respect to your wife and your family and your kids, but
this
is come on.
Yeah.
Come
this
on.
is it.
I think we can all acknowledge.
All right, let's get Frankie in here. Frankie Cardicelli, he's ready to go. We got to talk about Sasha, the Kings, and much more. Chris and Co. continues right here on Sactown Sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
This is a McDonald's ad from 1978. Would this interest you? McDonald's new golden onion nuggets. Crispy, crunchy chunks of real onion. An onion nugget.
Why do you do this?
But isn't an onion nugget too much onion?
No.
It's a breading surface and then all onion in the middle. Javid.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines, such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
My father was a career United States Air Force pilot, and Memorial Day is a reminder of all he and so many others did for our country. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now at the annual Memorial Day sale, everything in the store is on sale. Everything from living rooms to sofas to sectionals to dining rooms to home offices and so much more. And while you're there at Naturewood Home Furnishings, don't miss the parking lot clearance featuring drastically reduced closeouts, floor samples, and discontinued items now up to 50% off and more. Right now at the Naturewood Memorial Day sale, you can save in the store and in the parking lot. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, it's all available for you at Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel. Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course is Sacramento's #1 course for fun. Players love Bartley Kavanaugh's fun design and great mixture of holes. Near the banks of the Sacramento River, Bartley Kavanaugh's moderately sized greens and generous fairway landing areas make for an affordable and fun round of golf. Bartley Kavanaugh offers a great pro shop, help planning your tournament or wedding, and a relaxing outdoor veranda for a cold beverage or a tasty meal. For tee times, visit BartleyKavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
Pain is not normal. Repeat, pain is not normal. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here with the Good Feet store. Does this sound familiar? It's the end of the workday, and the pain in your feet, knees, hips, or back is unrelenting. Good Feet understands that you've likely already tried assorted remedies and solutions with no relief. And now you're pretty much resigned to living with the pain. But do not give in to the pain. Instead, come to the Good Feet store for their end-to-end 3-step arch support system. Good Feet is the nation's largest manufacturer and retailer of personalized arch supports. With arch supports in over 300 sizes, styles, and flexibilities, and an arch support specialist in each store. Come in today for a free, no-obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk around the store or around the center. Experience the comfort, balance, and support possible with the Good Feet system. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now in Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Memorial Day is coming, and Elk Grove Kia has deals you'll never forget, like the hottest all-electric EV on the market, the luxurious EV6. Save big with lease specials of $10,000 below MSRP. Not just one or two, but every EV6 in stock. EV's not your thing? How about the sporty 2023 Soul GT line that you can lease for just $99 per month? Come look at all our exciting specials at Elk Grove Kia. Don't worry about credit. No credit, bad credit, charge-offs, repos. Don't worry. Our team has over 100 years of experience. Others say no. Elk Grove Kia says yes. $7,500 Kia lease cash plus $2,500 dealer discount equals $10,000 total savings for EV6. All in stock Kia finance credit approval required. Not all will qualify. 99 plus tax, 24 month lease, $10K per year, 20 cents per mile over, 0 security deposit required, $52.50 customer cash required, and signing residual of $17,781.95 subject to Kia finance. Tier 1 approval. One of this payment. GK 87812-10533. Offer expires 5/31/23.
Turn your highway into a smileway. Elk Grove Kia.
Hey guys, June is Men's Health Month, and Revive Men's Health encourages you to prioritize your health. Book your free exam and T-check today and save $199. Call 916-277-8599 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Laud with your Sactown Sports headlines. Today, Carmelo Anthony retired from the NBA after 19 seasons. Carmelo Anthony last played for the Los Angeles Lakers in the 21-22 season and has not played at all this season. He retires as the 9th leading scorer in the league with 28,289 points. He was also named an NBA All-Star 10 times, was a 6-time All-NBA player, and a 3-time Olympic gold medalist. Tonight, the Nuggets will look to sweep the Lakers in LA to go on to the NBA Finals. The Nuggets took a 3-0 lead against the Lakers on Saturday, and Jamal Murray had another monster game, scoring 37 points to go along with 7 rebounds and 6 assists. Those are your headlines. Let's get back to Chris and Co. with Jason Ross and our guest, Frankie Cardicelli.
Live and local, it's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
And look who's in studio. Chris, you actually let him in.
I did.
Yeah.
I had to break in.
He did.
Kind of kick the door down.
Frankie the Yankee. What's up,
That's
Frankie?
Hey! I like that nickname a lot better. I like that one a lot better.
Yeah, then what was the alternative again?
That's like a King's Cowboy or something.
Someone.
I like Frankie the Yankee. You're wearing a Yankee shirt.
I am. It's a subtle one, though. It's subtle.
Yeah, it is.
It's always subtle. People might have seen it before. I've been on camera here before, and I don't have a very deep rotation of shirts that I wear to the office.
Dude, it's a struggle.
This is one. I know you go with the polo a lot. Yeah,
yes.
I would do that too, but I don't like wearing collars that much. So,
Wait, do you have more of a rotation outside, or you just don't have an overall rotation?
I mean,
because you made it sound like I don't bring a bunch to the office.
I mean,
he's got heat that he keeps.
I wear a lot of like sports shirts out of the office and
Yeah.
everything, and a lot of King shirts. But then again, there's the whole like, is that like, are you being objective? Or it's not professional. It's like
you want the Kings to win. It's okay.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
not okay, Jason. Okay.
One thing that I think is different. We work for the partner of the Kings. Like I think it's a little different. I think we can work.
It's
Kings
just
here.
like, I mean, like their success is obviously good for our success. Like the Kings being good obviously is going to bring a lot of more interest to people wanting to hear about the Kings.
I think a King shirt is different than if you're interviewing De'Aaron Fox and you got a Fox jersey.
It's like, hey, it's like,
remember that time you scored a bunch?
You're
Isn't that
great.
That's great. Yeah, you're great.
You're great. Thoughts?
Let's hear thoughts on that.
Yeah.
No, it's like it directly affects us. Yeah.
Right.
So of course I'm rooting for the Kings to win.
Yeah,
Definitely.
makes sense. On the back, though, what people can't see, it says Sasha.
Every game.
Yes.
Every game. They don't know on Media Row. I'm wearing a Sasha jersey
Yeah.
underneath my Kings or my 1140 polo.
Is he the King's savior, Frankie? Is he coming to the Kings? First time? You have to know. People figured you have the inside.
Oh, savior. Yeah.
We got to send you over to Greece.
Yes. Why?
You're the only person
good
who
point.
hasn't been over to Greece. We've sent Coach. We've got Jordy over
I
there.
know.
Matina went.
Yeah.
And
Just
like
Frankie.
levels of importance, I'm probably next, right?
Yeah,
I'm right,
100%.
for sure.
I'm right after Jordy.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that's what he's waiting for to announce. He's like, once you guys send Frankie over, I'll
Yeah.
make the
I
announcement.
mean, he's the assistant. You could go ahead of Jordy.
Brian's probably all yours right now.
Yes, he is.
right.
Yeah, Brian, make it happen.
Let's get the flights
Come on.
going.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I definitely have. It hasn't been a secret all season long. I mean, anyone that's been around the team or talked to people that know things that they've been very interested in Sasha. And I've talked to a couple people that know things that say there's been an avenue there for quite some time and there's a mutual interest for quite some time. And I think yesterday's result has kind of muddied that, not just personally muddied that certainty that he was for sure going to come over, because it looked like it was kind of heading that way. 29 points. He was making some big shots in the fourth quarter. It kind of felt like watching De'Aaron Fox close a game out. Sasha, whether he was getting it done in the paint, he had a big three late in the game that was from near midcourt. Olympiacos seemed like they were putting the game away, and you see Real Madrid kind of just string together a run, and they take away Sasha and other guys on Olympiacos on the offensive end and hit a crazy shot. If anyone out there hasn't seen the way that game ended, the EuroLeague final, it was a really incredible basketball game. But now, of course, because of how important it was for him to win that final, does that change things? Personally, I think no. I think that as someone who's going to be 28 years old in a month, that's not, I'm 28 years old. Let's say that's ancient, but for sports standards, that's no spring chicken to be a rookie in the NBA. And I think that if the more time that goes by and as far as things go from the Kings standpoint, a position of need, they need to fill that role of power forward, forward in general, with Harrison Barnes being a free agent, Trey Lyles, future uncertain, even though he wants to come back. It's a perfect time versus even last year. The Kings didn't really have a spot. They'd have to make room, whether it be waiving Chimezie Metu, waiving Trey Lyles. There had to be some movement going on. This year, it's simple. The spots are there. Does he want to come over? I think he does, and it'll come down to how much money it takes and stuff like that.
Yeah. And you talked about the fit there. Do you feel like the fit is there with kind of all the, I mean, the Kings kind of have an open slate in terms of their forward positions with Harrison Barnes and Trey Lyles both entering free agency and Sasha kind of seeming like he's in the direction of coming over. Do you think that that now is also the perfect time just kind of for the fit aspect as well, where, you know, the Kings kind of don't have any current plans for their small forward or their forward positions?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at what happened in the playoffs, and the Kings did have good 3-point shooting this season, but the guys that they needed to really hit threes, I mean, Harrison Barnes, someone who definitely struggled, and I know you've had a lot of takes on Harrison Barnes. Trey Lyles is someone who was impactful. I think the Kings would obviously like to bring him back, but is it kind of redundant having him and Trey, Sasha and Trey? That's a fair question. I think that if you do bring Sasha over, there's a good chance that one or both of Harrison or Trey are not back. I don't think bringing all three of those guys on board makes much sense because of what they bring. They're kind of all stretch fours. I mean, not one of them is really a stopper. I mean, Sasha, as we know, the defense is definitely a concern. I wouldn't say he's a stopper. That's a strong aspect of his game. I think out of those three, Trey Lyles is probably the best defender. So bringing him back and his versatility to play the 4 or maybe even the small ball 5, that kind of can add to the argument of bringing him back. But Sasha seems like he's a true 4, a stretch 4. Harrison Barnes, I feel like, is the biggest question over the Kings offseason because it can determine how much money they have to spend in the free agent market. It kind of can shape your roster for the next 3 to 4 years, depending how long you sign him. It's a really important decision. I think one that I think obviously Kings fans know it's looming, but you have to wonder if the Sasha decision can come first. I don't know. I think it's a really big decision for Sasha's career. I think one thing about European players is a lot of them that come over to the NBA, I feel like end up going back in their mid-late 30s and finishing their careers. And then Bjelica just won a championship with the Warriors. He played 4 or 5 years in the NBA. He got his ring in the with the Warriors. Now he's back and he played in the EuroLeague. He was injured for the playoffs, but he was playing at a high level again. I think when you come over and you play at the NBA, you play with the best in the world. You can go back and still be impactful against, not to diminish what's going on in the EuroLeague, but a lesser league from a talent standpoint. I mean, you can go over there and be impactful in your later years. So I think right now is a very ideal time for him. It's just a matter of how bad does he want to win that EuroLeague championship, because I know that last night's loss it stings him pretty bad.
Yeah, and I don't know if this was stated. I was gone last week, but I felt like I saw that on social media a lot, that if he had won, it was assumed he was coming. Did his camp or he state that, like, if they won, he was coming for sure, or was that just the assumption?
There was someone like a journalist for, I think, Eurohoops, who they're very plugged in. Like, they're super plugged in. They've broken a couple things in the past. They have all these exclusive quotes from Sasha in the past. They came on with Rami and was it Jay?
Jay, yeah.
And he said, like, it was like a parting thing going off. He just said, "Hey, just let you guys know if he wins, he's coming over." And it was kind of like, "Oh, wait, what?" And
he knew you heard it here first.
Yeah. No, I think Joe put together a post about it on Friday and everything. I think it definitely was something that was, I think it was kind of thought of or known around, like, you kind of just.
Right, it was an assumption, but it wasn't ever.
But someone that's more plugged in than we are, who's over there, involved in that process, said, "Yeah, they win, he's coming over." Now, I don't know how much that changes things, because again, the Kings, are they going to need this as much next year as they do right now? Right. I mean, if Sasha tomorrow says, "Hey, I'm staying put for one more year," the Kings have to pivot, and does that pivot make it harder to make a room for him next year? And he'll be 29 years old. Maybe the Kings find a way to upgrade a multiple forward spots this offseason. I mean, it just seems like the position of need right now, there's no better time. Yeah. And obviously, it just comes down to how bad he wants that EuroLeague title. I think the possibility to go back and win it in a couple of years is there. But again, it's his decision. But that's where we are.
And don't you guys also feel like it's a lot like Chris and I, we were talking earlier, this is 4 weeks ago, the Kings got eliminated basically. Like the Monday after they lost that hurt.
Yeah.
That didn't hurt as much today. I mean, I'm not dismissing it, but it's not the same raw emotion. So right now it's probably pretty raw for him, but in a week, 2 weeks, he's going to feel differently, I think.
Yeah. And that's one thing I think we were talking about on Twitter with a couple people yesterday was if you were to make a decision yesterday, I think it'd be easy to say, "Oh, he's going back." But let a week go by.
Right.
The NBA money, the NBA contract talks, start kind of thinking about that. Think about your legacy as a professional basketball player. I mean, you've already done so much in the EuroLeague and the Greek League. What's next for you in becoming a basketball? I mean, the National Basketball Hall of Fame isn't just for the NBA, it's for overseas as well. But if you add that aspect to it as well, like we see with Papa Sabonis and with Vlade, with people that were kind of freaking out about, "Oh, why is Vlade in the Hall of Fame?" It's like, well, he was impactful at the NBA, but he also was a great European League player. Yeah. So coming to the NBA can kind of solidify that legacy. And again, the Kings, you could always use more shooters that can stretch the floor. And I do think he helped the team, but we have to keep waiting.
All right. Well, hang tight. We got more with Frankie coming up here, our Sactown Sports Kings Insider, right after this.
Sactown Sports is Sacramento's new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
It feels awesome. We deserve this. Let's go, Niners!
Purdy.
Purdy going to throw, and it is Kittle in the back of the end zone.
Samuel.
Debo 10. Debo. Touchdown!
And McCaffrey.
Touchdown! CMC!
They all live here on Sactown Sports.
Your official home for 49ers football.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. See all our inventory and specials at AcuraofStockton.com.
At the Zotex Memorial Day sale, you choose the offer. For a limited time, get 50% off all cabinet materials for your home and commercial kitchen remodeling projects, plus free home delivery when you purchase 5 or more cabinets. Or the awesome Mohawk Revwood waterproof laminate starting at $539 installed. Book your free quote today. Zotex is your one-stop shop for home improvement and renovation projects. Don't miss this Memorial Day weekend limited offer. With 6 showrooms, head to Zotex.com to find a location. Terms and conditions apply.
Zotex. Zotex.
Live and local, it's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Frankie Cardicelli in studio with us for another segment here. Chris Watkins, what's the development we just were discussing there?
Yeah, very interesting news here. Tom Brady has officially agreed to buy a minority share of the Las Vegas Raiders. His agreement has been submitted to the league and will now need the approval of the NFL. That is Albert Breer of the NFL Network that is reporting that. No word on whether or not that's going to include playing for them, but just a very interesting development.
That's a clause.
Brady has now bought into the Raiders ownership group.
That's a clause in there for well.
Yeah.
If you are going to play, you have to play.
Honest question, I don't know that can he broadcast, because I know he was allegedly going to go to Fox, right?
Seems a little bit Fox like a
said
conflict
that
of interest.
They're allowing it.
Fox is?
Yeah.
Is that they're just like, yeah, we'll allow it. We already signed it, so of definitely seems like a little bit of a conflict of interest, though. No.
Yeah, I mean, I guess,
well,
but then
Fox is like NFC mostly.
I mean, we can do this with
I think they're
Shaq.
Yeah,
that was
TNT.
just popped my head.
Right? Technically,
yeah. I was like, we want to talk
when he was an owner.
Yeah,
and then he was still broadcasting.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, not really broadcast. That's more of a TV analyst.
Yeah, which in some sense you're more critical, not of the game action, like but it's like coaching and I don't know.
And Shaq was probably unfairly favorable to the Kings,
probably
while he was an owner.
When they were going through what they were going through.
Yes, when they were going through what they were going through. Yeah. Shaq would often come on and be like, "I'm telling you right now, Sacramento Kings
8 seed.
Gonna be an 8 seed this year. You can guarantee it."
When they have Chuck saying stuff like that,
I guarantee,
God,
he's always
ruined
wrong,
us.
Yeah.
As part of the Raiders deal, does he have to admit that he wasn't throwing the ball?
Yeah, right. There should be some admission of Tuck rule.
Yeah,
with
somewhere
him, coming to the Raiders staff.
It's in the small print.
Yeah,
it's got to be
along with coming back if he wants to come back.
Malpractice if not.
Yeah, that's right. So Frankie, we were talking a lot about Sasha here. You mentioned Lyles. You mentioned Barnes. Sasha. What about Keegan? How does this impact him? Because that's another guy that's kind of in that forward mix.
I think one of the biggest debates going on around, at least I don't know if you guys have seen this either, but one of the biggest debates going around King social media, specifically Twitter, the Bird app, is what is Keegan Murray? Is he a small forward or is he a power forward? And I don't know. I mean, that's the question you need to figure out. Is Keegan going to be your small forward next year if HB leaves and you do bring Sasha over? Because one of the biggest questions, too, aside from that, is does Sasha start or come off the bench? And I think that's what you and I were talking about off the air, would Sasha start? I don't know if he would.
I don't believe he would.
I think you need more of a defensive impact at that starting position. Yeah. But, again, we know that the Kings 5 they had this year was very good. It was very talented. It was very healthy. It played together. I think it was the most games together out of most teams in the league as far as starting lineups go. But if your ceiling is going to 7 games, the Golden State Warriors, a Golden State Warriors team that wasn't as good as they've been in the past, how do you get a little better? It's got to come down to the defensive end, obviously.
Right.
You can't get stops, you need to get stops. But where does Keegan fit in that? Is he a 3? Is he a 4? Because that kind of helps you form those other questions of, does Sasha become your starting 4? Does Keegan play the 3, and do you sign or try to trade for someone that could be an impactful starting power forward? I think he'd be a great kind of like slashing, scoring 3, but I think some people out there think he's supposed to be developed into a 4 or a power forward like it was in college. But I just think I see some shades of I don't want to say Rudy Gay, because like Rudy Gay was more of a pure scorer who could score off the dribble. But in those moments where Keegan would score kind of off of the dribble, if you squint your eyes, I kind of can see it. If he could develop that kind of step over baseline jumper like he knocked down against the Warriors in the playoffs, I really like that comparison for him. But also from someone who wants to be Chris Middleton. Keegan Murray has aspired and said since the day he was drafted, he compares himself to Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton's a small forward. So I do think that is the first thing you need to figure out is what position does he play, because then you can kind of figure out what goes next to him.
Right. So with that, with like trying to figure out what Sasha is, what would you say his shooting ability clearly is something that will be useful at an NBA level? Is there anything else that you see in his game? You mentioned his defense earlier being a question, but is there anything else that you see in his game that you're like, I could see that translating easily over to NBA basketball?
Oh yeah, ball movement. I mean, he's not like a high assist guy, but I think he had 4 assists yesterday.
Share the sugar.
Yeah, he's someone who makes the smart play. Very crafty. Something you kind of see from Sabonis. Just he looks like he has eyes in the back of his head. He sees everything that's going on. I think that would fit very well in the offense. And the Kings were a very good passing team last year. Adding more guys like that to the mix can only help. So that's something that really impressed me. I do think that he is a decent rebounder. I wouldn't say he's a great rebounder, but he's someone who can definitely crash the boards. And he's one of those guys that won't jump over people and grab the rebounds, but he's very strategic with the ways he can kind of work his arms and poke rebounds free and kind of find position that way. The athleticism isn't crazy.
What do you think about his physicality? I'm just like, I like, do you feel like, because to me, that's where the rebounding will come in and just his, can he play the 4 is going to be mainly based off of, does he get pushed around by some of, the more bigger, more athletic NBA bodies? Do you feel like his physicality is something do you see physical? I haven't seen too much of his game. Do you see a level of physicality to his game?
It's different. It's different watching EuroLeague compared to NBA, and that's going to be, again, the biggest question is physicality and defensive physicality are the two biggest things. Speed. I mean, it's just, that's the difference. But he was getting in there, getting physical, banging around for sure. But NBA bodies are different, and NBA athletes are different. Yeah. And that's going to be an adjustment that I'm kind of most concerned about, I think, is how will he fare against some of, again, EuroLeague.
Especially if you're playing him at 4.
Yeah, and again, a lot of these EuroLeague athletes, I mean, a lot of guys you'd see, hey, I remember him. Like, he played in the NBA.
That was my favorite part. Yeah. Isaiah Cannon had a great game. Mario Hazonia was in the game.
Yes,
I was like, oh my gosh, this is
Chimo Monecki was
right?
playing the other night. Yeah. So I think
nice
that's
a family reunion.
There are NBA NBA players are playing in the EuroLeague for sure, but coming over here, I just think would be a little bit different playing against guys that have been with it and in the league for years and are perennial all-stars. If he has a matchup against someone like Paul George, how is that going to go? Yeah. That's just kind of the question I have. But he's someone I think from an offensive standpoint, I don't have any concerns with him. He's crafty, he's smart with the basketball. It's how can he defend at the NBA level?
Didn't you also say, Frankie, he's actually now playing again, like already? Isn't he have something else coming up?
Yeah, I did not even know this until like a few minutes ago. I was about to come on and said, oh, yeah, they play like on Friday. The Greek playoffs begin. So sounds like we'll have more opportunities to watch him. And as someone who already has won Greek League MVP, they are the reigning Greek League champions. I mean, he's been there, done that, but just continuing to watch him play and watch him develop. And again, it kind of gives you an idea of where his head's at. He probably will not be able to sit down and make a decision until he gets through all of this, the playoffs and postseason. But I'm not expecting a decision anytime soon, personally. I could be wrong, but I think it'd be at least a little bit.
One thing, too, I'm just thinking about him based on what I know Looney said it. I can't remember who else said it from the Warriors, but other people throughout the year said part of the trick of the Kings, just, excuse me, it's a little quirk, is that Fox and Sabonis are lefties. And, I mean, you get used to it a little bit over time, but that's weird. You'd have another lefty.
Yeah, I mean, does that change the way that teams approach you? I mean,
it is different.
It's very weird. It's very strange.
It is weird. Is there any other lefties in the Kings?
Those are the 3, right?
Keegan's technically a lefty, if I'm not mistaken.
And his brother shoots lefty.
If they draft Chris. I have only, a few minutes, I guess. But have you guys had a chance to really dive into the draft yet? Or are you kind of waiting for that until June?
I've dipped my toe in the water for sure. I've definitely... there's a couple guys that I'm monitoring
because I'm just starting to turn the page from like the Sasha stuff. Okay, the playoff EuroLeague's done.
Right.
Today I was looking at mock drafts, and do you think that the Chris Murray projection, because a lot of mock drafts have Chris Murray as a projected pick. Is that just people being lazy and just kind of throwing his name in there saying, oh, they have Keegan? Because I don't want to say I'm feeling that way, because the Kings could use another guy like Chris Murray. They could use a guy like him who could he's a guy who seems like he could bring physicality and someone who could rebound and is athletic.
But would you do that with Keegan, with maybe Lyles, Sasha? Like now all of a sudden you have 19 forwards.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like that kind of it clogs things up a little bit.
Yeah, and you can argue that all those guys are more 4s than 3s.
Yeah,
which is
just not one of 3 or 4. Yeah.
And
I think that's where they have the flexibility, because I don't think they'll do this, but some people have suggested, if you moved Keegan to the 3, like we kind of discussed, and even Sabonis to the 4 and get a 5. I just don't think they'll do that, but I think they have. If they found that player that they thought would help them, you could go that route. I think Sabonis' superpowers are at the 5.
I do too. Yeah, I think positional versatility is something that they should look for in this offseason in general. Just getting guys that can play multiple positions, because to me that was you mentioned the Kings starting lineup played all of those minutes. I think a big reason why they played all of those minutes is because that was kind of the most dynamic positionally that they could be. All their bench guys kind of really fit into, okay, Malik Monk is definitely a shooting guard. Davion Mitchell can really only play point guard. To me, they need to get as many positionally versatile guys as possible. So it's only going to be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very intrigued to see what they do, because again, what kind of timeline do you have on the Sasha choice? Because if Sasha, let's say he drags it out and waits past the draft, does that change how the Kings draft? If Chris Murray's on the board, I mean, you have to imagine the Kings will want to take him for a lot of reasons. Does that change though? If Sasha comes, and says, "Hey, June 13th, I want to come to the NBA. I'm ready to sign." Okay, do the Kings transition to drafting a center? Do they go back? Because again, they need to solidify that position too. In my opinion.
Backup center, absolutely.
I mean, the Trey Lyles small ball thing that can be there if you bring him back, sure. But they need a shot blocking, rim protecting center. And I know they have Neemias Queta in who's going to be a restricted free agent, I think this offseason. Do you want to bring him back and run him in that position? I would like to think the Kings want to bring in a more established player, but that's like one storyline I haven't seen talked about too much is they need a backup big, because also if Sabonis misses any time, how are you going to survive? Because you can't imagine they're going to bring back Alex Len and throw Alex Len out there for, if Sabonis misses 15 games, Alex Len's going to be your starting center.
Doesn't even have to miss games. I mean, Sabonis was playing plenty of minutes in those playoff games, and still probably could have used somebody else out there. So I think I'm right there with you. I think backup center to me, I think it's because of the Harrison Barnes looming decision that we talk so much about the forwards and how we're going to fill that spot. But I'm right there. I think, in my opinion, the most pressing thing that this team needs to address is the thing that they should have addressed at last trade deadline. They need a backup center or a backup. They need not even, it doesn't necessarily have to be a backup. Like Jason said, I just think they need overall rim protection and, just a more physical presence. They shouldn't have to go to Alex Len in the last 8 games of the season to essentially save them.
Rashawn Holmes is still signed.
He's under contract.
Yeah.
He's still under contract.
I mean, maybe they can reinvent him. Maybe you reinvent him. If no one can take him, I mean,
it's about player development, right?
You have to get something. You have to get something out of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
A story for another day.
Story for another day. Well, Frankie, thank you for coming in.
Yeah,
good to see
guys.
you.
Appreciate it. Good to see you guys. I'm around if you need me any time.
Yeah.
For anything. Unless you need some money, then I'm not. I'm not coming around for that.
That's what I'm.
I'll let you guys know.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's Frankie Cardicelli, our Sactown Sports Kings insider. Check him out on SactownSports.com. Chris and Co. We are back with more, including. The play-in game has been very successful for the league. Can the new midseason tournament have that same kind of success? We discuss that next.
It's Kettles and Rami.
Their second pick was already traded, and the pick that went yesterday to Orlando, that was only protected in the Vucevic trade where they sent that one to Orlando.
That is a bad
That was only
trade.
protected. You don't have to tell me that, Kyle. You didn't have to rub the salt in the wound. I know that. It also cost them Wendell Carter Jr. and Franz Wagner. And now they are just out of the draft altogether.
What does the Bulls do, man?
I don't know.
Kettles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sac Town Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Monday. Welcome to the start of a new week. We've got a comfortable morning out there thanks to a bit of a delta breeze. Into the afternoon, sunny skies, a bit warmer today as highs will head to the low to mid 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
When you're ready to get properly fitted for golf clubs, join the thousands of Northern California golfers who visited the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio. Players of all abilities found the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio offers answers to questions about golf club fitting. You'll find a professional staff of fitters, major equipment brands, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan. See for yourself at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Call 916-808-2531 to schedule your fitting. 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
Carmichael Dave here, welcoming back my dear friends at Fire Wings. 21 different flavors. I had 4 of those 21 Saturday for the game, watching with the family. As always, breaded Malaysian curry. Yeah, you better bet I got that curry. Knocked it out of the park, too. Go to firewings.com to make your order. That's what we did. We ordered 2 hours in advance, picked it up. There's nothing better for the game than Fire Wings. Check out the locations nearest you. Fire Wings, just wing it.
You've heard all of his greatest hits. And now's your chance to see Grammy-nominated multi-platinum singer-songwriter Gavin DeGraw live at Gold Country Casino Resort in Oroville. Get your tickets now to see Gavin DeGraw Friday, June 23rd at 8 p.m. Only at
Gold Country Casino Resort.
Must be 21 or older.
M&S Auto Sales is grateful for their many repeat customers. Ask one, and they might say they come back because it's the best car buying experience. Others come back to get the vehicle they want and save a ton of cash on a clean, late model, top-selling vehicle that they can be proud to own. The team at M&S Auto welcomes you, including first-time buyers. El Camino Avenue, just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports Headlines. Today, Carmelo Anthony retired from the NBA after 19 seasons. Carmelo Anthony last played for the Los Angeles Lakers in the 21-22 season and has not played at all this season. He retired as the 9th leading scorer in the league with 28,289 points. He's also named an NBA All-Star 10 times, was a 6-time All-NBA player, and a 3-time Olympic gold medalist. Tonight, the Nuggets will look to sweep the Lakers in LA to go on to the NBA Finals. The Nuggets took a 3-game-to-none lead against the Lakers on Saturday, and Jamal Murray had another monster game, scoring 37 points to go along with 7 rebounds and 6 assists. Those are your headlines. Let's get back to Chris and company with Jason Ross.
Sitting at your desk, watch Chris and Company now. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
And while you're there, hit that thumbs up button right at the bottom. It's easy. You can find it. Boop. Yep. Chris just did it. I'm going to do that right now.
Yep.
And you make the noise when you do it. Make sure in your office you go. Boop. There we go.
Nice little 30 piece.
Yeah. Just advance to the number. So hit that while you're there. We appreciate it. He's Chris Watkins. I'm Jason Ross. Thanks again to Frankie Cardoselli. Remember, anything you ever miss here on any of our shows, go back to SactownSports.com. You can find everything. It'll be podcasted up there for you. So you can listen when you want. But we're glad you're here. Glad that you're joining us. Coming up at noon, we'll get back into the Kings, Chris, and really Sasha and that fit and what the Kings can do there. But we talked about kind of this journey. I mean, we got 4 teams left. Lakers made it through the play-in, and here they are. And the Heat made it through the play-in, and here they are. And I don't know that this is the first year that someone's made it out of it, so it's not like this is a foolproof thing. But what the play-in has done, I think in the regular season, let's look at this from the Kings' perspective. I think last season, not just the one we just completed, but the season before when they traded for Sabonis, the Kings were close to getting into the play-in, and they were kind of going for it. But I think some people interpreted it like going for it only that year, and they were, but also for years to come. And this year's goal was kind of, hey, maybe the play-in, and then see what they can do. That was what a lot of fans thought. And I think everybody that missed the playoffs this year, unless they had just some freak injury, is thinking, well, play-in, is kind of the baseline where you want to get to, if not higher. And I think it's done a really good thing about keeping teams competitive, maybe making teams trade at the trade deadline.
Right.
And it's a little bit like the NFL's wild card. You'll see teams that, they just got in, but something about playing for needing to win the last 2 or 3 weeks and then winning a wild card game, they maybe make it all the way to the Super Bowl.
Right.
It's weird. It does happen in other sports like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's just traditionally never happened in the NBA. Again, like the NBA is traditionally a league where the stars are all that matters. And if you have the best player, you're probably going to have the best shot to win the title. And, we're still seeing that with Denver and, LeBron and AD are still in the finals here. The Celtics have their crew. But I think that there is, there is, like you're saying, there's a level of like, there's something to aspire for, even if you are like the Lakers and you're a team that you're like, we have the core of, like we have LeBron and Anthony Davis. That has to be the crux of something. You saw Dallas kind of have the same mentality where they're like, we have Luka Doncic, like we have a chance to make it. We just need to make it into the tournament. And I like the fact that it's giving teams hope. It's giving them something to aspire for to not essentially throw away the season. And because, realistically, it's a lot more valuable, especially in a season like this year where, maybe it would have been a better idea to tank and try and get Victor Wembanyama as opposed to, that I think in previous years, you might have seen the Lakers take that approach at the trade deadline. Oh, they start 1-10. Oh, Russell Westbrook situation. At the deadline, maybe we should just ship everything off and try and get into the Wemby sweepstakes and then have LeBron and Wemby and AD. And then you don't have to worry about your future. Whereas now with this play-in tournament, I think there is a sense of just get us in.
Yeah.
Just get us to the dance.
Right.
And we'll take our chances there. And we now have 2 perfect examples of teams that I mean, especially in the case of Miami, were really had their feet to the fire in the play-in tournament. We're on the brink of elimination and have turned it around completely and are now in the conference finals. I think it's just a good thing for the NBA and as a whole, but it's also a good thing for teams to directly have an example of, hey, we can do that. And it's not too far out of the question. It's not going to be easy, but it's not out of the question.
Most people, I think, in life are just, they don't like change. It's different. This is new. I keep it the way it was, even though I've been complaining about this, but keep it this way. It's kind of the way we are. It's the way we're built. And so the NBA tried something different. I think the playing game has worked to be pretty great. So they're going to have an in-season tournament. I believe it looks like everything's pointing to starting next year. It's not – I think right now it's confusing because it's new. We haven't seen it. And
it's just words on paper at the moment.
I think a lot of people also are like, well, what's the motivation? The prize right now for everybody is the Larry O'Brien. They want to win the NBA championship. Get it. But in other sports, they have made some of these other things that you play for equally fun or equally engaging and equally entertaining. I don't know that you get there in year 1, but they got to start somewhere, and the NBA is trying something next year.
Yeah, no, I think that they're taking a note from the WNBA does something similar to this called the Commissioner's Cup. That's had mixed reviews in terms of WNBA fans and how they feel about it, but generally they seem to like it. It's huge in European soccer where, there's FA Cups and there's, your European Cups, and then there's your local cups as, your own league as well. So and it's worked. It's worked in just about every other league. I just think it takes a while, and it might take a few adjustments here or there to kind of dial it in. But I think overall, I think it's going to be a lot like the play-in tournament where the first couple years or even leading into it, we're like, this is dumb. This doesn't make sense. Why no one's going to care? And then once we actually get into it, we'll see that, we forget, I think sometimes that these guys are also, as we're seeing in this, these guys are just competitors. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, if you say that there's anything at stake, I think that there's some guys in this league that just, they just love competition. And if you say that there's anything that's going to raise the stakes, they'll take it and run with it. And I think that'll be the fun in it. But however, we have to also acknowledge there's going to be some bad in it too. I think that there's going to be teams, maybe LeBron doesn't care so much about a midseason tournament. I think we're going to see teams, play the value game. Like how does maybe a midseason tournament victory means a whole lot more for Sacramento than it does for a team like Golden State, where they can maybe use that momentum as a sign of, hey, like, we've been in big pressure games. We've been in high leverage games and we've been able to pull through. Maybe that's good for a pre-playoff ramp up almost. I think that teams will find value in it. And as viewers, I think, if you love the NBA, I don't think that you're not going to like this tournament.
Yeah, and also you got to get it started. And what does year 1 look like compared to year 5 and year 10? Exactly. What does it morph into? Yeah. But I wonder if it's also going to become like this, where let's go 5 years ago. You have the Clutch Award. I'm like, what is that? What does that even mean? And then now it's this year. Oh, De'Aaron's leading. Oh, De'Aaron's going to win. Oh, cool. De'Aaron's the Clutch Player of the Year. Summer League. Do I really care now? Oh, the Kings have a chance. Go Kings!
Right, exactly.
Like all of a sudden I want them to be Summer League champs again. So I think it's like that. Anything you're competing for, and if your team or someone you support has a chance to win it, then you're all in.
Right. I think Summer League Championship's a great example, because that's definitely something that people are like, like Summer League doesn't matter. Who cares? You celebrate this, you celebrate that. And then once your team is actually in it, it's just impossible. It's impossible not to be like, well, like we're in it. Might as well try. The Lakers have won, the Blazers have won multiple times. I think it's definitely going to be one of those things where, as outsiders, and maybe if your team isn't heavily involved, maybe you won't see the value or you won't see the fun in it. But I think there'll be some niche things that people really like. Like, who knows, maybe, in European soccer, sometimes this is an opportunity. And I don't know if this is how it'll play out in the NBA, but sometimes those are the games that they'll throw in. Let Kessler Edwards play 25 minutes because we just, we don't have an opportunity to play him during the regular season. So now is a good opportunity in these tournament times. So I think maybe things like that could be where teams also find their value in the tournament.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see how it goes. Now, there was the other part. I think they need to clean it up in a sense to make it really simple. And right now it doesn't sound very simple as far as the birth of it. To me, it seems like, all right, you play up till this date, give a 2-week gap, everybody's in the tournament. It's not as clean as that.
Right.
And maybe that'll take some time, because I think when you start to explain it, people's heads start to spin.
Yeah, it's really confusing. There's like group stages and there's qualifiers in the groups, and there's never, like you said, there's never like an official, okay, it's tournament time, we're stopping everything, slowing it down. Like, it's going to kind of happen in the flow of the season. And I think there'll be games where people are like, oh yeah, this was a Stern Cup, game or whatever the hell they're going to call it. Like, I think there will be elements of that. But I think overall I feel like people will respond positively to it. I think the biggest question, honestly, is why will the players care?
Yeah, that was the motivator. What's the motivator?
How will you get the stars to care? Because I think at the moment the prize for winning is every player gets $500,000, which Jason, you and I will take. I'll take that gladly. But that's what is that? That's not even a minimum contract in the NBA. I don't know if that's really going to get LeBron James excited. I don't know if Steph Curry's going to get out of bed for $500,000. It's so that's going to be the thing that, to me, that's the biggest hurdle the NBA is going to have to clear. Is it's already hard enough to get these guys to play in your regular season games. Why would this is $500,000 total enough to get these guys motivated? And if not, what is like what moves really the needle? What moves the needle? What gets these guys juices flowing? I think it's competition, but at the same time, like, these guys are also, especially in the NBA, these guys are businessmen, and they are not going to risk their careers off of something that the NBA is just trying to make a quick buck off of. So that to me is the interesting part of it all.
All right, coming up at the top of the hour, more on Sasha and the fit, what he did in the EuroLeague final. But, talk about a league that's thriving. The WNBA may be better than ever, and they're actually going through some things that are very much like the NBA. We'll explain when we come back on Chris & Co. here on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
The Kings season might be over, but Sactown Sports coverage never stops.
We, as a team, have a ways to go. This is something that you want to be able to build off of.
Stay tuned all off-season to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news. Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Hey, Jess, want to come for a ride on my motorcycle? We can talk about our feelings and explore our emotional compatibility.
I thought you'd never ask.
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could.
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive, and you could use the savings to make sure the motorcycle is always ready for your dream girl. So keep the dream alive and the savings coming with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
Growing a business brings pressure. It's not easy to maintain momentum and still keep employees engaged. Fortunately, there's Insperity. Their scalable HR solutions help me with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance while giving my employees competitive benefit options. When my people are able to thrive, my business can adapt and prosper. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Quick Quack Car Wash is excited to announce Ceramic Duck, the stronger, shinier, luckier car wash experience that can only be found at Quick Quack. Their new Ceramic Duck car wash provides unparalleled protection from dirt, grime, rain, and UV rays while giving your car a noticeably deeper shine and smoother finish. With consistent use, you'll build a shine that will have you looking spectacular for days. Try the premium wash at 50% off by texting DUCK to 41284. So come on, experience Ceramic Duck today. You and your car will be glad you did.
Guys, did you know that June is Men's Health Month? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T level is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your hormones are serious business, and most men start to see changes in their hormone levels starting in their 30s. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Get your T levels checked today by a local, experienced, and trusted healthcare professional. Revive Men's Health has successfully helped thousands of men since 2011. Experience and results matter. So, what are you waiting for? Call Revive today to schedule your free testosterone test and free exam. We know we can help you. We guarantee it. Celebrate Men's Health Month. Get your free T-level test and save $199. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Everyone knows Elk Grove Kia is home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new Kia. But did you also know that Elk Grove Kia is your one-stop place for used cars? I'm talking over 300 used cars available. With Kia's certified program, with its 165-point quality assurance inspection, we know peace of mind on used cars is important. And that's why we also offer extended service agreements on all our used makes and models. Most prices are under Kelley Blue Book retail. New car protection at used car prices. From used sports cars to used delivery vans, we got them all at Elk Grove Kia. And our financing folks have over 100 years of combined experience. So we approve just about everyone. No credit, little credit, bad credit, no problem. And Elk Grove Kia is proud of our don't like it, bring it back guarantee for up to 3 days or 150 miles, no questions asked. Why would you buy your used car anywhere else? So check us out online at elkgrovekia.com today.
Turn your highway into a smileway. Elk Grove Kia.
Listen to Oakland A's baseball on the weekends all season long right here on Sactown Sports, beginning with the pregame show brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Keeping you company with the company. It's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Again, Sasha Talk coming up at the top of the hour. Have you seen Fast, the 10th one, X? Not yet?
No, I've not.
It dominated, and obviously it's doing quite well if there's 10 of them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And I believe this is the first of the next 3.
They already have them planned?
Yeah.
So we're getting to 13 or 12 or whatever at 13? Was
12.
the okay, I'm gonna butcher it. Wait a minute, hang on. I had the name Hobbs and Shaw. Was that one of them or was that an offshoot?
That's a spinoff.
So that doesn't count towards the 10.
No.
All right, Chris.
So this is like the 11th.
Does Tokyo Drift count towards?
Yes.
What number was that?
3.
So how many have you seen?
None.
You and I are together.
I have seen 0.
I
just
have
know
there's really no reason why. I mean, it's the kind of movie it's entertainment, right? It's
The
pretty
funny thing-
easy
so-
to watch.
Were you a fan of Point Break?
Yeah.
The first Fast and the Furious is Point Break.
Okay.
Like almost beat for beat.
So, Chris, have you seen all 10? Or have you seen 10 yet?
I've not seen 10 yet.
Okay. It just killed at the box office. Obviously, just raked in money.
The plan is to see it as City won the Premier League this weekend. So it kind of just threw everything into a I wanted to see it this weekend.
Oh, you just couldn't do it when City won?
I mean, they won the title.
Yeah. And
like
That's not new.
If the Kings won the title, would you watch Fast X that
What
same
if the
weekend
Kings won
too?
the title 5 of 6 years, Chris?
I wouldn't see Fast 10.
But tonight's okay. You're clear tonight.
I might see it tonight.
Okay. So I know you like to rank movies. Do you have the previous 9 ranked and what's the best? So like if Chris and I were to get started tonight, what would be the number one choice?
Best one is Fast 5.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Then?
No question. That's how I could tell a person if they like the Fast and Furious movies.
So your gauge is on like what's the best one? If they tell you 8, you're like, you're not.
Okay. All right. 8 is your favorite?
Yeah.
That's dumb.
So you're done. You're done
Fate,
with them.
F8, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
Fate of the Furious.
All right. So what is your order?
Mine is, okay, just doing it off the top of my head. 5, 7, 1, 6, 3, 8, 9, 4. Oh, did I have 1 in there?
You did.
Okay,
one.
okay.
You didn't
Then
have 2
2
yet.
2 is the
Two's
last one. Yeah.
So it could have ended after 2 in your mind.
2 is awful.
Chris, I'm gonna ask. I ask my girlfriend this with like the Twilight and the Harry Potter movies. What's the best? Like the undeniable. Like if me and Jason are going to watch one, and you're like, okay, the best one to watch undeniably is this. What is your favorite one as well?
Oh, it's the same one. Fast 5.
5.
Fast
5
is
covers
best
both.
and favorite. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So if we started with 5, we're okay.
Yeah. If you look at like, you can basically cut 1 through 4 are basically an entire, just forget about it. It's not even the same universe because in 1, they're stealing digital portable DVD players and VCR DVD combos. That's literally the plot of the first one is they're stealing from those trucks. Things that we don't even use anymore.
What are they on to now? Like what was 9? What are they doing? What are they up to?
Oh,
driving
it's a
fast cars.
whole global like so in 9 John Cena, who is Dom's brother, he works for
Look just alike.
He works for like a super secret group that's trying to take control of all of the weapons in space, and he's basically going to hold the Earth
all of
ransom.
All of the weapons.
I think I need to see 1. I need to go back to the DVD.
Like if you were to see 1 and then 9, your mind would be blown.
What's like the most outrageous scene from all? Like I know they've like jumped from skyscraper to skyscraper. I think they've had quite literally flying cars. What's like?
No, they went to space. That's
Come
like
on. Is that 8?
No, that's 9. That was the last one.
They went to space.
Mhm.
Like it is a car rocket.
Yeah, you got it.
Like they just put so much NOS in the back that it just
They put it on top of a plane. And they flew the plane super high, and then with the rockets on the car, shot it into space.
That makes sense because it would be ridiculous if it took off from the ground.
Yeah, come on, that's just not happening.
Crazy talk. Gotcha. You had to
Where
start.
did you rank 9?
9 was very far away.
And we got a 10th out of this.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get through 12.
Are they like finding? Are they merging with like Jurassic Park?
I
Like, what's happening?
that you see, you say that as a joke, but I have 100% said that they need to join forces.
Could they maybe do like a Back to the Future thing where they go so fast? that
Okay,
maybe they
now
go back in time?
you're just
sorry.
you're just making
I'm being
this a joke,
ridiculous. I'm sorry.
and it's not funny.
Us a joke.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, if you see 10, we'll have to get the review tomorrow.
Should I play that audio that I have?
Oh yeah, you sent us
Yes.
this. This was what from the premiere. Well, they'll explain.
So
it.
now, like, I thought this was a premiere, but I forgot that they did this. This was for the premiere of the trailer. They went to Rome to premiere the trailer for Fast 10.
Okay.
Which tells you how awesome Fast 10 is. And it's Vin Diesel and Tyrese Gibson.
Okay.
And here we go.
10. Fast 10. Is this going to be the biggest and best one yet?
It's going to be the biggest and best one yet. And in so many ways, it's going to be the biggest and best one yet. In some ways, it's just the fact that we're continuing. In some ways, the fact that we're continuing a saga and we have incredible talent like Tyrese Gibson that live and breathe the role of Roman. And because of Roman, we decided to outdoor premiere in Rome. Get it? Rome, Roman. Rome, Roman.
Wait.
It's all because of Roman beers. We're going to go to Rome. I got an idea. Let's do the world premiere at Roman. Rome.
What happens when they get together?
Decisions being made in rooms that I'm not in. Give me a hug, man. I love you, man. I love you, man.
They're brothers.
I love you. That's all you need to know.
We're
sorry to interrupt you.
Well, we're all part of the same miracle. We're all part of the same miracle.
We're heading to Rome.
All part of the same miracle.
Wow. Did they get stuck in space too long?
Yeah, they never came down.
Man.
I think that they're still visiting. Yeah.
They're
still up there for sure.
Chris Verlaut, is this crew? F9 went to space and crashed a Pontiac Fiero into a satellite?
Mm-hmm. That's how they saved everybody.
Okay.
And then they were able to spacewalk to the International International Space Station so that they were able to survive.
No spacesuits?
They had scuba suits.
Okay. Scuba suits, same thing.
All right. This is always my reference point with you, Chris. If in the 9 movies that you've seen already, if Face Off could be put in there, where is it ranked?
Where is it ranked within the movie?
Amongst those 9, like, you're putting up against the 9 Fast movies.
I would put it up with the 5, 7, 1. Like what I put. I put it right there with 1.
Okay. Stealing DVDs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any of the movies that are like is the first one like literally, is it grounded? Like, is it not like, or are they all just ridiculous?
You have to go to about 4. Like 5 is just like, okay, we're just leaning.
How many was Paul Walker in? 1 or 2?
He was in 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Wait, what?
Yeah. 7th one was like they didn't film all of it, so they had his brother come in and they.
He was that far along. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't realize that. Okay,
I will not see Fast 10.
Okay, well, Chris will give us that review tomorrow.
Yeah, my brother-in-law is a massive fan. Like,
really
massive.
Wow,
massive Fast 10. You know what I dislike? This is gonna be real old man get off my lawn stuff. Every time a Fast movie comes out, you can always tell at the theater because there's always going to be people revving their engines and doing like it just
in the parking lot.
Yeah, just like every time it brings those people.
Now the first one, it was wild.
Oh, I imagine like that spurred tons of street races. Like there's no way they
and spacewalks. Now, I mean, the amount of people I see racing up there and spacewalking,
these mechanics
just
these days
out of control.
It's getting crazy.
I did want to ask you about this before we get to the top of the hour here. I know we got just a few minutes left, but you have become a big WNBA fan, haven't you?
Massive, yeah.
And the league right now is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's the best.
Is the fact that they have 2 super teams. I'm saying 2, like New York is stacked.
Yeah.
Breanna Stewart just went nuts yesterday. The Aces are incredibly stacked. But then Brittany Griner's, I mean, they've got like storylines and plot lines, and then the play is better than ever.
Yeah, no, it's an incredible. If you're not watching the W, now is the season to watch it and hop in. There's 2 super teams, like you say, New York Liberty and the returning champs, the Las Vegas Aces. I think the Aces are going to probably win it again this year. They're absolutely stacked. They just ended Candace Parker, but on the New York side, they bring in Breanna Stewart. They bring in Jonquel Jones as well to tie with Sabrina Ionescu. It's going to be a great season. And to me, I think I know a lot of people aren't fans of the super teams, think it's going to, be a problem, but I think it's only good for the WNBA. I think the W is kind of looking for like the Bird Magic kind of storyline to really, the NBA was kind of in a similar situation until they had the Bird Magic storyline to really, take them to the next level. And I think there's a possibility that these 2 super teams could breed something like that if they can remain dominant for the next 4 or 5 years. To me, it's, again, just a good thing. I think more eyeballs that they can get onto the league and the players. And once people actually watch the games and see the quality that's happening in the league, it's just really tough to not be entertained when you sit down and watch a game. And especially in the playoffs, it's just as good as any basketball you're going to watch.
It's great basketball. It really was. It was good before when the Monarchs were here. It was just better. The overall talent is better. It's just amazing to watch. All right, when we come back, we got the 12 o'clock hour to get to. We'll talk a little bit more about Sasha. Is he the right fit for the Sacramento Kings and what he looked like in his EuroLeague final? We've got that as Chris and Co continues here on Sactown Sports.
We're all part of the same miracle.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. See all our inventory and specials at AcuraofStockton.com.
Selling your home can be stressful. Scott Marsh here to tell you about Bridgehaven Homes. They are a local home buying company that offers homeowners an easier way to sell their home. Let Shane and his team at bridgehavenhomes.com take that stress away. Bridgehaven Homes gives you an all-cash offer for your home, no matter what the condition, within 24 hours. You pick the date you wish to close and sell on your terms. No repairs, no showings, and no realtor commissions. Call 916-299-6040 or bridgehavenhomes.com.
We see a lot of pollutants like trash, pet waste, cigarette butts, pesticides, and fluid leaks from vehicles on our highways and in our waterways. This isn't what we want. Clean waterways, clean creeks. Now that is what we want. You can help change this to that by picking up after your pet, properly disposing of litter, and reducing pesticide use. All Californians can protect our waterways. Learn how at BeRiverFriendly.net.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Pain is not normal. Repeat, pain is not normal. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here with the Good Feet store. Does this sound familiar? It's the end of the workday, and the pain in your feet, knees, hips, or back is unrelenting. Good Feet understands that you've likely already tried assorted remedies and solutions with no relief. And now you're pretty much resigned to living with the pain. But do not give in to the pain. Instead, come to the Good Feet store for their end-to-end 3-step arch support system. Good Feet is the nation's largest manufacturer and retailer of personalized arch supports. With arch supports in over 300 sizes, styles, and flexibilities. And an arch support specialist in each store. Come in today for a free, no-obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk around the store or around the center. Experience the comfort, balance, and support possible with the Good Feet system. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now in Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Watkins with your Sactown Sports headlines. Today, Carmelo Anthony retired from the NBA after 19 seasons. Carmelo Anthony last played for the Los Angeles Lakers in the 21-22 season and has not played at all this season. He retires as the ninth leading scorer in the league with 28,289 points. He was also named an NBA All-Star 10 times, was a 6-time All-NBA player, and a 3-time Olympic gold medalist. Tonight, the Nuggets will look to sweep the Lakers in LA to go on to the NBA Finals. The Nuggets took a 3-0 lead against the Lakers on Saturday, and Jamal Murray had another monster game, scoring 37 points to go along with 7 rebounds and 6 assists. Those are your headlines. Let's get back to Chris and company with Jason Ross.
Live and local, it's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
What you got over there?
I just saw your text.
I love to do that. I love to do that. So just behind the curtain here. I was here. You were here. Chris Verlad was here. Brian, our boss, was here. Everybody was here, but you guys didn't know where I was. I was over here by Nate and Dave and Jay, and I was in the other studio for a while. And then Chris Verlad's like, "Oh, there you are." I go, "Yeah, I'm here." And then, but I didn't know you guys were back there. But I just saw your text. Are you almost here? And you sent it at 9:36. So at 12 o'clock, I said yes.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. No, appreciate
I like
that.
to
I
do
wasn't
the
sure.
after the fact.
Text. You've been physically here.
Yes.
Mentally.
Still on vacation.
Yeah.
But now
you're just a little bit better of a texter than Dave Deuce Mason.
I hear legends. I hear legends.
All right, a lot
Deuce is
better.
Really bad.
I don't think I've gone days without getting to you.
That's true.
Mm.
No, yeah, you have.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Interesting.
Not that anyone's keeping count.
Apparently, Chris is.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I said you're better.
Yeah, you did. No, and you did the slightly.
Slightly.
All right.
I'm
But
not
there.
great either.
Are
It's
you?
tough, man.
Well,
It's
I
just
will
like-
say that, and you can't. I mean, I guess you.
You're
say this.
way better than Jason.
Thank you.
I see them.
I do too. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I see them.
Yeah, but
I just-
actually today I did not see them. Like
the
when
thing,
you guys
the
sent
thing
me
you do
text, I
is
go,
like
"What?"
you see it real quick, and you're like, I'll get back to that later.
Yeah, especially like if it's during the show, I go, okay, I got to do it, and then
Yes.
I forget. And I know there used to be a thing on my phone that I had it done this way, where I would mark it like unread,
Mhm.
and I go, okay, that way I'll go back to it, and I took that thing off. So,
Jason, I'm looking at your phone right now.
Yeah.
What's going on?
oh, here,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's
Jason
bad.
has literal like
I have
scotch tape on
tape
his
on
phone.
the end. Yeah,
he
it's
loves
bad.
his Pantech.
Yeah, this rotary is great. The guys from Fast One are trying to steal this. Yeah, but they will not get
They
here.
will not get it.
I am going to space.
No, you're going to space.
Yeah.
Well, they can get you there.
Yeah, they might.
Maybe if you stay on the ground, they
Exactly.
won't be able to find you.
Exactly. This is Chris and Co. He's Chris Watkins. I'm Jason Ross. We're here together all week. This will be a fun week for me, for sure. I look forward to that. We are 10 to 2. Coming up this afternoon, following us will be Rami and Jay Johnson, and they will take you the rest of the way this afternoon. Last hour, we talked to Frankie Cardicelli about Sasha, Chris, and the thought about, and a lot of people right now on the Kings are, I mean, that's really the for the moment, the only pressing thing, because, we have to wait on decisions on Lyles and Barnes and so on. And the draft's not that far away. But, Sasha is someone that can be under team rights fairly soon. And so I think that's why there's immediacy. And he's still playing. So I think there's some excitement about him right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to watch him play, and it's kind of the only thing going on right now in the Kings world, and it's been really entertaining to watch. I've had a good time, tuning into these EuroLeague games, and it's just it's a good time. We don't have draft prospects to file through and watch and contact coaches and everything. So Sasha's been a nice little filler this year, where we've traditionally, like I said, been going deep diving into prospects. It's kind of like we're re-shifting our energy now over to watching Sasha instead. And, he's been great, which has been the best part of it. It's not like this is a guy who's coming in off the bench and he's a prospect and is like, oh, you have to kind of imagine, like, he's a very prominent feature in their offense, and he's been putting up huge performances game after game here.
Yeah, I think you're right on that, where you go, like, it's not a question. I think people want him to come. I think that's the excitement.
Yes,
people are envisioning him in the mix with the Kings. Where would it be? What's the fit? What would his role be? And because when they do see him, they like him. I mean, I liked what I saw. I can't admit that I've seen all of his games, but saw a lot of stuff yesterday and just other highlights over time. And much like Frankie said, I talked to some Kings people, and they are very high on him. So I think the fact that they're interested, it also kind of validates everything that they've done and are doing, where it's like, look, it looks like they're building something. And if you've got a player that has something good, there doesn't have to come over here. But if he wants to be a part of this, to me, that's also encouraging.
Yeah, that's a huge talking point that I really want to get into, is like the fact that the Kings, it's a real, like, it's really symbolic of how different things are from last season to this season, because last season there was also still rumors that Sasha was going to come over, and the talk behind it was what was the exact role for him. It wasn't quite as defined as it maybe be this year, but also, why would he want to come? He's he ended up winning EuroLeague MVP. He made it to the finals with his team. Why would he want to come over here to a Sacramento Kings team that has been in the lottery for 16, 17 years and, doesn't have any recipe for success? Well, now it's like, oh, now is the perfect time to go over there. They're a winning team. They have the spot for you. They want you really bad. It's just all things have lined up perfectly over the past year to really just make sense for everybody for this to be the moment that he comes over. And I kind of agree with what Frankie was saying earlier with, if it's not now, I don't know when it's going to be.
I agree with that.
I just don't know. It feels
he's
like
28, right?
He's 28. Again, the Kings have a lot of openings at the four, not necessarily they don't plan to bring those guys back, but if they know that they can factor Sasha into the equation, then they know, where maybe they might not have as much importance on bringing back Harrison Barnes. I don't know if it has anything to do with the decision at all, but there's at least a lot more defined role for him, I think, if he comes over now, and it just makes the perfect sense for him to come over right now.
Yeah, and I think, to me, what's always, me personally, I'll speak on this, what I think is the most underreported thing on any situation like this. So if you or I were the best, or considered one of the best at something, but the best at it was in another country and we had to move to go, like, I don't even know how I could function. Like, he's from another country, his family, friend, like, that's, and I know the best basketball allegedly is here, is the NBA, and just I just, that whole culture shock. Not that it's like,
it's massive though.
Yeah, like, your life is completely changing. Now, wouldn't be the first nor the last, and plenty of people have done that. But I always feel like that has got to be one of the biggest hurdles. Like, just Keegan Murray going from college to the NBA is a huge step. Talk about going from another country, to the United States to play basketball. Yes, you know how to play and you're good, and
could be a language barrier.
Yeah,
as well.
You'll understand the language of the game, but just
the pressure,
pressure, food, media, just all different, all weather, lifestyle, just everything.
And at the same time, you're trying to figure yourself out. Like, you're trying to figure out, how do I fit? You know, that's all that other stuff is not even bringing on the floor stuff of like, can this guy, like, he's not projected to be a Luka Doncic. Like, he's really going to have to work in order to earn his role in the NBA. And, like, he's going to have to deal with all those things that you're talking about, and the on the floor competition of, what if the Kings bring back Harrison Barnes and bring back Trey Lyles? And what if they do draft another forward as well? Like, he's going to have to deal with the competition side of that. And I'm sure that'll be the escape, right? That's what they always say, is that, all that other stuff is whatever, but once you're on the floor, nothing else really matters. But I think that's a huge part of it. Is he? We haven't heard from Sasha either. We have not heard directly from his mouth, oh, I really want to go. Like, I'm sure he said the NBA is a goal for him, but like you said, has that always been has that been his life's mission, is to make the NBA? I think it's a really, really big change for someone to make in their life, and it has to be something that you're 100% in on, especially if you're going to do it now.
was life better for Yao Ming that he came here? I don't know the answer. I don't know that he can. I mean, he would have been a legend wherever he played and a Hall of Famer likely, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know the answer to those questions that were like, oh, the best basketball's here. Come on over.
Right.
Well, that's easy to say. That's a whole culture shock. Now, what's the fit, though? Will he fit? What is the fit for the 2023-2024 Kings with Sasha? We've got that next on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
The King season might be over, but Sactown sports coverage never stops.
Guys on other teams, when they look at the Sacramento Kings, they feel that this is a fun brand of basketball to play.
Stay tuned all off-season to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At Elk Grove Honda, all 2023 gas or hybrid model Accords are available at interest rates as low as 3.9% APR, limited short-term financing on approved credit. Honda Accord was named to Car and Driver Magazine's 10 Best list for an incredible 37th time. Let us show you the brand new Accord with interest rates as low as 3.9% APR, limited short-term financing on approved credit. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Sitting at your desk, watch Chris and Company now. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
See, our YouTubers still taking shots. If Sasha can score more than Herter in the playoffs, then yes, he's a fit.
Come on.
Kevin Herter did not have the best postseason.
Fans don't forget.
They don't forget, but he had a great season. And I don't know how Sasha will do it. Actually, let's do that before we even think about the 2023-2024 fit. Chris, you mentioned, there was talk about him this last year. So let's plug him in on this last year's team.
Yeah.
Where, when, how does he play?
Yeah, I thought about that as the playoffs was going on, and honestly, Jason, I don't know if he helps at all. I think he's a guy.
You want more shooting.
That's it. To me, he's another guy that you could have rolled the dice on, where it's like, okay, yeah, Kevin didn't have it, Keegan didn't have it, HB didn't have it, Trey Lyles didn't have it.
Like when he's gone before Terrence Davis.
Right.
They went him smaller, but maybe he goes in.
Exactly. I think it just would have been another dice roll of like, maybe this guy will be able to hit some shots. So in that sense, maybe he would have helped because maybe he would have been the guy who got hot during the playoffs or whatever. He's been in those moments before. He's comfortable. Besides that, I don't really know if he's impacting this playoff series much of at all. And that's just with the questions that I have of his game. Obviously, if he would have played the season, we would have had a tons of answers, but just off of how I feel about his game right now, I still think the level of physicality, I don't know if he would have helped with the Kevon Looney problem. Defensively, defense was a problem all year long. Frankie mentioned it as well. Defense is still a massive question for Sasha, and it's not going to be good. He's not going to come in and be a great defender for sure. He's going to come in and hopefully be a good or a passable team defender. So I don't think he helps in the defensive element either. I think he just kind of would have been a shot maker and maybe somebody who could provide length, but I still have a lot of massive questions about what his overall role and impact would be in a playoff series.
And now, though, as a possible plug and play for next year, and I think there makes more sense there because they have to make a decision on Barnes and Trey Lyles. Those two guys are free agents. Keegan's going to be back and in the mix. You are going to draft.
Trey Lyles back. We do.
Yeah.
We need to bring Trey Lyles back.
But I will say this. I know when we were talking with Frankie earlier last hour that let's say the thought is to bring Barnes back and to bring Trey Lyles back and Sasha comes over. If you still like a forward at 24, you take the forward at 24. I agree. The draft, because maybe the forward at 24 is the best of all of them. Maybe not just now. You just got to draft whatever you feel is right at 24.
I agree. I'm not a big.
It would change your free agency, not your.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that they should definitely go with best player available at 24, and hopefully it is a forward, a Jaime Jaquez or Chris Murray potentially, someone like that. I think that's definitely the right move, because I think the Kings don't have any solidified answer at the forward spot. And honestly, like you said, like if the draft pick can come and be the best of them all, I think that's obviously a huge win for the Kings. And I don't think that they should try and draft some other position because they feel like they have this one locked down. To me, it doesn't feel that way. I think that Sasha is going to come in and kind of be, Frankie posed the question, will he start? I don't think so.
I don't feel like
I don't think that there's I don't want to say there's any chance, but I think he's going to come in, and especially when he's first coming into the league, I think he'll be hopefully a 15 to 20 minute per game guy. And then if he plays well, yeah, he can play into more minutes, but I don't see any role bigger than that at the moment.
If Barnes were gone, is it chance he's starting or no? Or still no?
I guess there is, but I don't think that means the team is better. I think that means that the team is worse. I could see that as a possibility, but I don't think that that's baked into I don't think the Kings are bringing him over with that intention.
Yeah, it feels like again, without knowing what the exact roster will be for next year, to me in my mind, my mind tells me, Chris, that the best version of this team would be Sasha is the rotational shooter off the bench. And that might be the sixth man.
Right.
It might be the ninth man.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he plays every night.
Yeah.
And then if he's going in a matchup, it's like, oh, man, he's hit a couple threes in the first half. That 8-minute run turns into 12 or 14, and he gets another 12 or 14 in the second half, plays 28 minutes. Get you double digits off the bench.
Yeah. What position do you think he plays in the NBA?
That's a hard one, too, watching him, because he's 6'8"?
He's 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah, which is what Murray is. Barnes a little shorter than that. But
to me, he plays like a big shooting guard.
Okay.
Which is, I don't know if you could actually put him in that position for lateral quickness, especially defensively. But I
more
sometimes,
small forward to me.
Yeah, small. Even then, I just have questions about his athletic ability.
Mm-hmm.
That's my big thing is how he will be able to keep up. And again, like if he can't keep up foot speed wise, how physical can he be to kind of make up for that? I think last week we played sound from a Eurobasket commentator. A commentator on who was on the Deuce and Mo podcast, and he compared Sasha to like a George Niang. Like is to me, that's the kind of
bench guy.
Yeah, a bench guy who comes in, shoots, knock down some shots, but you're not going to rely on him every single night to win games. And I just don't feel like that's what the general expectation is for him right now. Also, do you feel like there needs to kind of be a little bit of a come back to reality moment for Kings fans? Because it does feel like there is conversations about, can this guy be a starter of Harrison Barnes? And I just don't think people have a full good grasp on the kind of prospect that Sasha is.
I feel like the way this team is going to be what they were this year and what they want to be in the future is Fox and Sabonis, bottom line. Right? I mean, like if those guys are tremendous, the team will be good.
Right.
And it doesn't mean they can't be good without them being to the level they were this year. But if you get 2 All-NBA players again with growth from just everybody, if Barnes is back, just a little bit better version of him. Certainly Keegan has a chance to jump. Herder, all the guys, all the way down the line, a year together, Brown and all that. And then as a complementary piece, that's what I feel like he would need to be.
Yeah, I think additive, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not necessarily, because that's the thing is I don't necessarily know, and I kind of pointed at it with your initial question. I don't know if he adds anything. He's kind of a luxury piece, honestly, for this Kings team. Like, I don't know if he adds anything that the Kings really need. Like, he's not a rim protector. He's not a backup center or somebody who can play. Like, to me, Trey Lyles is a lot more of a 4-5 than Sasha would ever be.
I agree with that.
And so, I think I just don't know. I don't necessarily know. Whitey has brought up in weeks before, like, should, I know Kings fans are going to come at his head for this, but should they maybe even consider, I don't know value wise if it would make sense, but should they consider trading it? I don't know if they even necessarily, is there more pressing things than just adding another shooter for the sake of having more shooters on the team? I think that's a really legitimate question in terms of building out this next year's team. Should the Kings maybe not be looking at him as such an important piece, though clearly they are with the amount of people that they've sent out to go see him. But it just begs the question of, is he, yes, he is a good player, but is he a good player that the Kings have use for?
Yeah, no, I think it's a fair question, and I don't know that I know the answer as far as where it goes, where he belongs. But I know along the lines of that shooting, I just think every team will take as much shooting as they can get. But on that same line of thinking, if you have, let's say, 5 guys that could shoot on your team, whether 2 or 3 of them start and a couple off the bench, at some point you're going to be playing a guy, or you're missing out on somebody's shooting ability. And it's not a night where they're all on, but there might be a night where it's not going well, and you just keep playing shooters till you find one. But I mean, I don't know if that's where all your investments, go like that. So I really feel like we could see. I wish we could know what the overall big picture was to then see if it makes as much sense of the excitement for him.
Right. Yeah. Like at the end of the offseason, maybe the team makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Because right now we're kind of we're at the most stripped down version that the team's going to be. We don't know if Harrison, if Netu, if Lyles, if all these guys are going to be back. We have no idea what the team looks like. And so right now it does look like Sasha is like, we're really banking on him coming over and having real impact. I just think if the Kings want to be better, if they want to be a better team next season than they were this one, to me, that involves Sasha being kind of like you're saying, like, I think he needs to be the 7th, 8th, maybe even 9th guy that you look at in the rotation and be like, oh yeah. And they have him to throw out there as well. So hopefully that's the case. How do you feel like it'll, just real quick, how do you feel like do you think it impacts the Harrison Barnes decision at all, him coming over?
Even from Harrison's side or the team side? Either one?
Either one.
I don't think it'll change Harrison's side too much. The team, I guess it depends on how much they value him or what they envision him being.
His role, right.
In my mind, I don't see him as a starter, meaning of Sasha. I think Harrison still could be, but maybe you're also back to maybe the best version of this team is if Harrison's coming off your bench. Then you've got someone that you believe is even better than him, and that would be ideal. But
I also wonder, like, could they maybe with Sasha's addition, could it affect Harrison in the sense of, okay, maybe we don't need to bring back Harrison. Maybe we can make 2 players equal Harrison. Maybe we can bring in, maybe we don't need Harrison Barnes in the starting lineup. Maybe we need, I always keep throwing these names, Josh Okogie, Torrey Craig, someone who does something more specific and not necessarily brings the totality of what Harrison brings, but maybe something more specific. And then you still have a big in Sasha who can make that replacement for Harrison.
Well, like last summer, remember they traded for her, but also signed Malik. And you're kind of thinking, well, there's 2 shooting guards, but one starts and the other one plays a huge role.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Can I give my way too early prediction for Sasha?
Absolutely.
Sure.
I think that Luka will have as many or less playoff wins next season as Sasha.
What would that be? 3? Does he have 3?
I mean, like, say he doesn't come.
Oh, you're okay.
I still don't think he has more playoff wins than Sasha.
Interesting.
Next
year.
Next season.
Yeah,
not combined career.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to look at Luka's career wins.
Yeah.
He doesn't have them. No, he went to the conference finals.
He went to the
right?
conference finals. Yeah. He didn't play in all of those games, but yeah. Interesting.
I like that way too early prediction, but I like it.
Right.
All right, when we come back, everybody seemed to love the beam, but is it one and done? Oh, saying ain't so. We'll hear and talk about that next on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
It's Kettles and Rami.
Their second pick was already traded, and the pick that went yesterday to Orlando, that was only protected in the Vucevic trade where they sent that one to Orlando.
That is a bad
That was
trade.
only protected. You don't have to tell me that, Kyle. You didn't have to rub the salt in the wound. I know that. It also cost them Wendell Carter Jr. and Franz Wagner. And now they are just out of the draft altogether. What does the Bulls do, man? I don't know.
Kettles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Monday. Welcome to the start of a new week. We've got a comfortable morning out there thanks to a bit of a delta breeze into the afternoon. Sunny skies, a bit warmer today as highs will head to the low to mid 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug. Ew, a bug, get it. But the chances of actually hitting it, over there, are statistically, it's still alive. Unlikely. Good thing nature's got your back. Stem bug killers combine powerful active ingredients found in plants, like lemongrass and geraniol, and scientifically engineer them into effective bug-fighting formulas, safe for use as directed around people, pets, and throughout the home. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Isn't it nice to get exactly what you want? Introducing the new My Plan from Verizon. Control what goes into your phone plan and what stays out of it. And now, get the amazing iPhone 14 Pro on us when you switch with Select Trade-In and Unlimited Plus. Get iPhone 14 Pro with My Plan at your Verizon store today. It's your Verizon. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line required. $200 Verizon e-gift card sent within 8 weeks with core date. Less up to $800 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions and additional terms apply.
Save big on your new Silverado at Meta Chevy with big discounts off MSRP on a big selection. Plus, available 1.9% financing and no payments for 90 days. Find your savings on your Silverado at MetaChevy.com. Find new roads.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street, right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, guys, did you know June is Men's Health Month? Prioritize your health and address those issues you've been ignoring. Revive Men's Health Sacramento has guaranteed low T and ED solutions. Book your free exam and T-check today and save $199. And find out how you can get a free 1-month supply of custom ED medication. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
Carmichael Dave here, welcoming back my dear friends at Fire Wings. 21 different flavors. I had 4 of those 21 Saturday for the game, watching with the family. As always, breaded Malaysian curry. Yeah, you better bet I got that curry. Knocked it out of the park, too. Go to firewings.com to make your order. That's what we did. We ordered 2 hours in advance, picked it up. There's nothing better for the game than Fire Wings. Check out the locations nearest you. Fire Wings, just wing it.
It's the Folsom Lake Ford Memorial Day Sell-a-thon. Get low finance rates and Memorial Day bonus cash now through Monday. With their biggest and best selection in years, shop Folsom Lake Ford, 35 years in the Folsom Auto Mall.
It's a myth to think you don't play golf well enough to get fitted for golf clubs. The professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio would argue that playing the game with golf clubs properly fitted to your body and swing characteristics is the best way to improve your game and have more fun on the golf course. With a professional staff of fitters, all the major brands of equipment, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan, the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is worth a look. See for yourself. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Schedule your fitting at 916-808-2531. 808-2531.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it. Hear it. Feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Watkins with your Sac Town Sports headlines. Today, Carmelo Anthony retired from the NBA after 19 seasons. Carmelo Anthony last played for the Los Angeles Lakers in the 21-22 season and has not played at all this season. He retires as the 9th leading scorer in the league with 28,289 points. He was also named an NBA All-Star 10 times, was a 6-time All-NBA player, and a 3-time Olympic gold medalist. Tonight, the Nuggets will look to sweep the Lakers in LA to go on to the NBA Finals. The Nuggets took a 3-0 lead against the Lakers on Saturday. Jamal Murray had another monster game, scoring 37 points to go along with 7 rebounds and 6 assists. Those are your headlines. Let's get back to Chris and company with Jason Ross.
Sitting at your desk, watch Chris and Company now. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
We're going to hear from Kevin Herter in a moment. It's Kevin Herter last week, and I was on with JJ Redick talking about the beam.
That boy Kev going stupid.
And is it one and done for the beam? I don't know about that. I did remember, like, when it got started, I'm like, okay, this is just going to be a this year thing. But then as the year went along, it's like, no, this has got to stay, right?
It has to. It has to. It's way too marketable.
For sure, and identifiable. And so, look, I wasn't in another country golfing. I was in Oregon in my golf trip. But like, you run across people, and then somehow we came across this group. We were kind of at this par 3 course that there's more people on, and kind of a little log jam. We were talking to the guys, and then the one, I had the Sac Kings hat on. He's like, "Kings, light the beam," and I'm like,
"How it goes?"
I mean, just
right.
He's light the beam.
No, totally.
And he knew he wasn't from here.
Yeah, it's as a Minnesota Vikings fan, I can kind of also tie it into like the skull chant.
Yeah.
Like, it's a thing. Like, it's just a unifying thing that brings all the fan bases. Doesn't matter. Yeah, if you're a fan in Oregon and New York and wherever, you can it's just something as simple as saying skull as light the beam, and it's just an instant connection, and like it's just really cool. Like, again,
we're all part of the same miracle.
All part of the same miracle, man. We're all going through it, man.
Yeah.
We all lived it together. So it's such a cool thing, especially as the Sacramento Kings, who have had nothing be their thing except for losing.
Yeah.
Losing was their thing.
Yeah.
That wasn't chill, but it's a really cool, and it's about winning,
right?
Which is the best part
what it
of
signifies
it as well.
The beam's not lit when you don't win,
right? No.
Well, let's hear what Kevin Herter said on that podcast about the future of the beam.
At some point, you flip the script. But I think for us, it was a way to enjoy each win, a way for us to interact with the fans. Like, you grab the microphone after the game, and you put a big emphasis on, hey, we're now a winning team. We're not the same Sacramento Kings of the past year. So we'll see. The expectations should for us change moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not the beam, then what? I don't know what you do. But every time there's been a playoff game like this, like last night, I mean, I lost interest in the Boston-Miami game. But imagine if that was the Kings doing that to Boston, and it was at Golden 1. Fans would probably be tired of it, but you just light the beam. I mean, for a quarter.
It'd be nuts.
And you're just like killing the Celtics on the inside, because you just have to hear it for a quarter.
Right. It's almost like the new cowbell. Like, it could be like it's just a great. There's nothing wrong with it. That's the thing. Is like, why should it go away? I know this season was really fun, and it would be a cool way of being like, oh yeah, remember when it can still be the first year, the inaugural year of the beam, the year that it really jumped onto the scene. I just don't see why it has to go away.
Yeah.
Like, it was so great. Everybody loved it. Why not just play it out? Just play it out.
I think there should be a slight change to it.
Like,
and I've been saying this over and over again. I don't know who over the Sacramento Kings needs to hear this, but someone needs to hear this. It shouldn't be a button. There should be a lever to light the beam.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's how you make it different.
To build on that point as well, especially when they were during the beginning of the year, they were trying to figure out, like, they brought the table, and then they had one button, and then they had the super button.
Yeah.
People were like, especially in the beginning of the year, I remember Domantas Sabonis and Terrence Davis. They slapped that table like you actually were going to light the beam with the force of their hand. You can't have players breaking their hands.
No, good point.
Trying to slap the button. They have to do. Lever makes sense too. It feels like
a slot machine lever.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, and it's like there should be sparks coming from it.
Sparks.
Is there any way they can like make it royal, like kingly? What would be like a king or like a royal tie-in? I guess there's not really much.
Can we get the Fast and Furious guys involved?
Oh, send them to space.
Yeah,
maybe that's.
We're all part of the same miracle.
All part of the same miracle.
They get it. Maybe we don't get it.
Yeah,
got to make it happen.
Got to make it happen. Got to keep it, man.
I'm here for the beam. Let's see if David's here for the beam. David, should we keep the beam going?
Keep the beam.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And go Vikings.
Oh, look at that. Sir. Wow. Is this Chris's closest friend?
Yeah. Absolutely. Long time Vikings fan.
Let's go.
Hey,
welcome
couple
anytime.
things. Yeah, all right. Hey, I'm not so sure about Sasha. I'm not sure he really moves the needle a lot, for me at least. I'm not the GM or the owner or anything like that, but I think the plan was, I was listening to Jerry Reynolds a couple days after the loss, the last game against the Warriors, and he said that the plan was to move Keegan to the 3. So, and that makes sense. Keegan's kind of he's already proven he can guard multiple positions, so I think he'll be fine at the 3, which leaves the 4 open. And I'm not so sure that Sasha's game, he doesn't seem like a gritty, what we lack is defense, and that's not what he brings. So there are some guys out there. I know we'd kind of have 2 small forwards, but also HB, love him to death, and he's a great locker room guy, and I love his game, but it'd be weird tying a bunch of money into him at this point. Yeah. And at 31, I don't know, but I'd like to see him make a move on Cam Johnson and Naz Reid. And I think that Reid seems athletic enough to play spot 4 and 5 as a backup. So he gets plenty of minutes. And I think I think he was, for limited minutes, I think he was in the top tier for steals. And he also shoots like 38% from 3. So I think if you get those guys, then we're a lot better off than if we went the path. And I also like Lyles. I think that's who we should sign, and maybe even start Lyles, because when Lyles doesn't score, he still plays good defense and he grabs boards, which is what this team needs from their starters, and as much as he can from the bench. I don't know what you guys think about that, but those are just my thoughts.
Yeah, thank you, David. Appreciate that.
Great call.
Yeah,
I got an idea.
Yeah, I like pretty much everything.
He had you at the Vikings.
He had me at the Vikings stuff. Let's be real. I mean, he was playing to the crowd, but I agree with. Honestly, I do believe everything he said. I think I have a lot of questions about Sasha and whether or not he can be that impact guy. I don't really love Trey Lyles as the starting 4. I think that's kind of taking a step back, but I do think that the best version of this Kings team does involve Keegan Murray eventually playing the 3. And if he can play it at a high level, and if he can defend other 3s in the NBA, to me, that leads to the most positional versatility for this team moving forward. And I think that it's definitely a possibility. I think it's probably a lot easier to find a plug and play 4 than a plug and play 3, but it's we'll see how the offseason shakes out. I think all those things are kind of still to be determined.
I know we briefly touched on it, but what about a plug and play 5 and move Sabonis to the 4 now? Is that what the Pacers were doing with him and Turner? And not that it failed.
Yeah, I think that's the concern, is that, that's also true as well. I think that there is this narrative that the Pacers thing just didn't work.
They made the playoffs.
They made the playoffs. They were fine. He was a 2-time All-Star. Yeah. I think that there's proof of concept there. I think it's just, it might have been other pieces around it as well. I don't know. There's hundreds of reasons why they were also going against LeBron James year after year. That's going to be an issue as well. I'm not opposed to it. I've been a big proponent of Brook Lopez. I don't necessarily think. I think Brook has. Obviously, he's been a starter in this league for his entire career. He has the ability to start even at the age of 36, but I think that there's also a beauty in positional versatility. He doesn't have to start. I think he can come off the bench and still play 25 to 28, 30 minutes a game. I like it. It's just got to be the perfect fit if they're going to run Sabonis at the 5. Like, the center has to be such a good player and obvious fit that it makes sense to move Sabonis over, because I think the true beauty is what we saw this season, where you can have Sabonis, Fox, and 3 other shooters out there with them.
I mean, he was 13 All-NBA at the center position. It's tough to tinker with that, and the other 2 are amazing, Embiid and Jokic, but there are other good centers too. But I mean, Sabonis is on the short list of the game's best centers. Yeah, he is. He's right there. I mean, Bam Adebayo was the closest competition, and really that wasn't even close. I think the Kings, there is going to be always baked in defensive problems when Sabonis is going to be your 5. But I think that the offense, as long as it's able to run the way that it did during the regular season, I think it's totally worth any shortcomings that you have on the defensive end. And you can also patchwork defense with the other guys as well. I think that the Kings just really didn't have many defensive minded guys on their roster in general. And I think that could help Sabonis. I think getting more overall length on the team could help. And I
I really like, to bring back David's point, Naz Reid is a good option as well. That's a name that I've heard brought up quite a bit, and I think that could be a good 4-5 fit as well. I just think that the Kings need to do a good job of bringing in the right guys. Cam Johnson's another good example of a good guy, but he's also a restricted free agent. So there's plenty of options out there. It's just the Kings have to figure out, financially what can work, and also what makes the most sense for what they're trying to build, because we can't also forget it's not just about next year.
Right.
You have to try and build for the future as well. And how you balance that is that's the job of Monty McNair. That's why we don't get paid the big bucks.
That's right. Well, since the Kings last played, 2 more rounds are almost completed. How far away truly are the Kings from being a contender? We'll have that question and the answer coming up on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Are you ready to hear this on Sactown Sports?
Hand off McCaffrey. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Or how about this?
Feel super, baby! The 5-time Super Bowl champions, and they're looking for number 6.
Catch every Niners game during the 2023 season
On your home for the 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. Well, a good Mother's Day story involved the ace right-hander Garrett Acton. Pitching with his mom in attendance and making his debut against the Rangers, he retired all 5 batters he faced. Undrafted in the 2020 COVID year when the draft was only 5 rounds, he also excelled in the classroom as the first-team academic All-America at the University of Illinois. Ken Korak here, introducing you to the Xfinity 10G network. Xfinity is undergoing a multi-year network evolution, giving you a powerful connection today while building toward a faster, more reliable tomorrow. The Xfinity 10G network gives you the fastest internet with even faster speeds rolling out all the time. You also get a consistent and reliable connection when everyone's online, even during peak hours. That's a home run. If you want to learn more, go online at xfinity.com/10G.
With a really nice selection of excellent cars and trucks on the lot every day, M&S Auto on El Camino Avenue, right off the Cap City Freeway, welcomes you. Repeat M&S customers come back because they get great vehicles and they save thousands. 4x4s, SUVs, American muscle cars, top-selling vehicles, fair deals for way less than a brand new car. First-time buyers are welcome. MSAutogroup.com.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
Your health is important, so keep yourself and your family covered with Medi-Cal. Medi-Cal renewals will be happening soon, so if you have Medi-Cal, make sure you don't miss any important renewal information. If you've moved in the last 3 years, check and update your mailing address, email address, and phone number. Learn more at keepmedicalcoverage.org. That's keepmedicalcoverage.org. Paid for by the California Department of Healthcare Services.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
You know what time it is. It's time to trade up to a brand new Kia at Folsom Lake Kia. Trade up to all the newest technology and an industry-leading warranty. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family-owned for over 20 years.
Sitting at your desk, watch Chris and Company now. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Well, it's been a while since we last saw the Sacramento Kings play. They were eliminated by the Golden State Warriors, who were then eliminated by the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers could be eliminated tonight by the Denver Nuggets. So, Chris, we got a Denver Nuggets team up 3-0. We've got a Miami Heat up team that's up 3-0. And certainly, I guess there mathematically is a chance still for the Lakers and the Celtics. But when you start to get this far along, you go and you compare and contrast and go, all right, are the Kings, are they truly close to that contender level? And my read on this, and I'd like yours, is that I really do feel like this is a case-by-case, almost year-by-year basis.
Sure.
My own personal opinion, I do think the Kings would have defeated the Lakers. I have no proof of that. I can hear plenty of arguments to say, how would they have done with AD and the size? I get it. I just think the Kings would have won. I think it would have ended with Phoenix or Denver. And in this case, looks like it would have been Denver. And I don't think they would have got past them. I don't mean that's their ceiling. I think that was, I'm going path. More on the matchup.
Right.
So if somehow Phoenix and Denver weren't in their way, they could be in a championship. But you could open up next year with a team that's equivalent to Phoenix or Denver. You go, man, that's the wrong matchup. And kind of like this year where you were a 3 seed, which there's a lot to like about a 3 seed. It's a pretty tough team to open with that they almost beat. And I'm not convinced the Warriors are that much better, if even better, but they won, and they won under the rules, and they advanced. So I almost think it's a year-to-year thing, and I'm sure Dallas thought they were going to get farther this year. They didn't even make it. Nope. Memphis, I'm sure, thought they were at bigger and better things. Hey, we're a 2 seed now. Right. So I really feel like it's a year-to-year thing. So just based on this year, I'm a little bummed because I think they could have done some decent damage.
Yeah,
but they didn't get out of the first round.
Yeah, I agree. I think I don't know. I think it would have been incredibly competitive with the Lakers. I think the unfortunate thing is the Kings, frankly, and the chat's been pointing at it, and I think it's the Kings didn't play well in the playoffs. And so if they would have played well, I think you could have seen them advance all the way to the Western Conference Finals. But they didn't. And I agree. I think that it is kind of a year-by-year basis. You never know who's going to be in your path. You never know what matchup is going to give you a huge nightmare,
What injury?
Absolutely. And to me, that's kind of why I keep bringing up the positional versatility. I just think you need to be able, kind of like the Warriors. I think a big reason why the Warriors were able to find success against the Kings is because they were able to throw out tons of different looks, and the Kings just never really could adjust to those looks or didn't have their own adjustments to make. So to me, it's all you can do is put yourself in the position. I think the Kings were in the position this year as the 3 seed. They had home court advantage. If they would have continued to advance, I think it would have played out in their favor. I just think all you can do is put yourself in the situation to be in the Western Conference Finals, to have a shot. And part of that is just having a good collection of talent for injuries, for matchups, for whatever that is. But it's also just knowing who you are as a group. And I think they're still trying to figure that part out. I think they're still trying to figure out, how they can best, be in the postseason, who they can rely on. And to me, moving forward, that's going to be the biggest thing, is just how many different guys that they can bring in to give different looks, and can these guys know their roles moving forward even better, understanding what comes with their roles. Because I think Domantas Sabonis and Kevin Huerter, not to make excuses for those guys, but this was their first time not being in the playoffs, but being in the playoffs in those roles. Kevin Huerter had been coming off the bench. Yeah. Him missing 3 or 4 threes in a game in Atlanta wasn't as paid attention to as him missing 3 or 4 threes here in his role in Sacramento. Domantas Sabonis having the ball in his hands as much as he did here in Sacramento wasn't necessarily the case in Indiana. And so I think those guys getting more and more comfortable in their roles as well will just help out the Kings as well. But, in terms of your initial question, I think it's just, I think they just have to have the right things line up for them. I don't necessarily know if it's obviously being the best team out there is super helpful. That gives you a clear advantage, but a lot of the time it just comes down to matchups.
Yeah. I mean, going into the year, I remember before the year with Dave, I think we had, predictions on who you thought would make the finals. Mine was the Clippers and the Bucks. Felt pretty good about that. Well, Clippers had some issues. Certainly the Bucks. I would have guessed then as the year went along and as you're watching games and things develop, I honestly thought the top of the East was better than the West overall. So I would have guessed that the champion was either going to be Boston, Philadelphia, but my thought still was Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, right.
And now, I mean, yes, technically Boston still has a chance. Not a good one. Miami could do it. And I didn't even really acknowledge them, think of them, but I bet if it goes as it's going, don't you think Denver's the favorite if it's Denver-Miami?
I think so.
Based on 1 versus 8? And
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely. And they'd have home court advantage and just with how, Miami's playing fantastic.
Absolutely.
But Denver, again, being the front runners all year long, I think that they've also earned the right to be the favorite. So I'd be surprised if they weren't. Definitely.
Yeah. So, I guess the bottom line is I think the Kings did enough this year to be in, I don't know about, I guess contenders is, when I thought about the Kings in the early 2000s, I would say there was a 2 to 3 year window where, to me, they were championship caliber team. They didn't win it. There's not always Boston's a championship caliber team to me right now. They're having a tough time.
That was the example I was going to use, where it's like, Boston, it's never worked out for them, but they've been in position just about every year. And at the end, and it's you can make the same argument for it happens in football all the time as well, where it's like you might not make the Super Bowl, you might not win the 49ers.
Right. That's champion. That's the Super Bowl caliber team.
Super Bowl caliber team, and all you can really do is hope to get in the dance, right? Like you just hope to have a shot at winning, and then sometimes you run into Patrick Mahomes, sometimes you run into Nikola Jokic, sometimes you run into Steph Curry, sometimes just greatness gets in the way, but you have to. The hardest part is just getting yourself in the situation to be there year after year after year, and then. For me, I'm one of those people where, maybe from a fan perspective, it's hard to watch your team get there and lose year after year after year. But, from a team building perspective, again, you just got to if you build a roster that's good enough to have a chance, to me, that's all you can really do.
Yeah. And I think they've done that. And now it's about progressing, getting better. But it's then it goes to the matchups. I'm sure the Warriors and their fans felt great knocking off the Kings. That's still also at this point, might be, and maybe we're too close to it. Was that been the best series? Best of the playoffs?
So. I think so.
Yeah.
Like I really do think so. Like it went 7. To me, there was 1, 2, there was 4 games that kind of could have gone either way, if I'm not mistaken. Like just a competitive level too. To me, it was the intensity. Like I don't know if there's been a playoff series that has felt like that like it felt like it was almost a finals level. Like I don't think we've seen that level of intensity even in the conference finals here. It feels like I think the Kings and Warriors have had the best performances of just in that series of anybody else.
Yeah, it was great. It was great theater. It was great to watch. And then now you think, okay, what are the pieces? And that's the thing. It's like, is Monty McNair plugging and playing and thinking about and Wes and everybody in the front office? All right, Denver, is that their metric, or are they thinking of Boston, Milwaukee, or is it just us getting better as a team, like them?
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that, because sometimes teams almost strategically go, well, this is who we're going to have to get through.
Right.
But it doesn't always line up that way.
Right. That's what the Houston Rockets did, right? When the Warriors were building their dynasty, Daryl Morey was like, I'm just going to beat a team or create a team that can beat the Golden State Warriors. And I don't know, maybe we see Denver reach that point. I think there's been a conversation that's started to brew about, especially with Embiid winning MVP as well, Giannis being as dominant as he is. Do you need a dominant big again? Is the NBA kind of shifting back from, we had this huge swing to the perimeter and shooting. Well, now we see how big of a problem Embiid was to deal with. We see that nobody has any answers for Nikola Jokic. Is that going to be kind of the new pendulum swing? I don't know. I think Jokic is a generational talent, and so is Anthony Davis. I think we forget that sometimes. I think that there's just, talent is talent in my opinion. I think the Kings are in a good position, but they can definitely I don't know if they could really build their team around trying to stop Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, or build their team around trying to slow down Nikola Jokic in their offense, because realistically, to me, and we kind of talked about it earlier, to me, the best thing to do is just build a good collection of guys and just focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Just be the best team that you can be from head to toe.
Best version of yourself. All right, we got a final hour to be the best version of ourselves.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we still have a crosstalk at the end with Rami and Jay, but when we come back, I was gone for a week, and there's some things that I want to get your reaction to, Chris. Stuff that I missed, some interesting things that happened that I was kind of stunned, to be honest with you, while I was gone. We've got that and so much more in our final hour of Chris & Co. right here on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Thinking that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got 'em. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
Save big on your new Silverado at Meta Chevy with big discounts off MSRP on a big selection. Plus, available 1.9% financing and no payments for 90 days. Find your savings on your Silverado at metachevy.com. Find new roads.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
So I'm a public school teacher and I'm on my feet all day long. That would be on concrete. The pain would like shoot up my heels and just increased from the bottom of my feet up. Then my back started hurting. So my husband and I were driving and I went, oh, look, there's a Good Feet store. I'm greeted by this gal named Mercy. That was a perfect name for her. And the cool thing about the Good Feet store is that you're able to try before you buy. I had free fittings. She was able to fit me with special arch supports. And so I walked around in the store. Within 30 minutes, I started sobbing because I had no pain. Well, if your feet are hurting, do something about it. You don't have to grin and bear it. You need to go to the Good Feet store and get some arch supports. I'm Deidre, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how they work for you with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Hey guys, did you know June is Men's Health Month? It's time to address those issues you've been ignoring. Tired? Not feeling like your old self? Lacking drive? Revive Men's Health can improve your quality of life for common issues like low testosterone or ED. Why live with it when you can improve it? And Men's Health Month is the perfect time to take charge of your health. To learn about the real-world benefits of testosterone or ED treatment, book your free exam and T-level check today at Revive Sacramento. And for Men's Health Month, ask how you can get a free 30-day supply of custom ED medication if you're medically qualified. They make it easy, convenient, and they have a 99% patient satisfaction rate. So save $199 with a free exam. And don't forget to ask how you can get a free 30-day supply of custom ED medication. Don't wait. Do it today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Watkins with your Sactown Sports headlines. Today, Carmelo Anthony retired from the NBA after 19 seasons. Carmelo Anthony last played for the Los Angeles Lakers in the 21-22 season and has not played at all this season. He retires as the 9th leading scorer in the league with 28,289 points. He was also named an NBA All-Star 10 times and was a 6-time All-NBA player and a 3-time Olympic gold medalist. Tonight, the Nuggets will look to sweep the Lakers in LA to go on to the NBA Finals. The Nuggets took Game 3 against the Lakers on Saturday, and Jamal Murray had another monster game, scoring 37 points to go along with 7 rebounds and 6 assists. Those are your headlines. Let's get back to Chris and Co. with Jason Ross.
Keeping you company with the company. It's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Final hour of Chris and Co. He's Chris Watkins. I'm Jason Ross. Back from vacation. I don't know how you are, Chris, when you get away. Like for me, it's what's weird is we work in a profession that, everybody I ran into on this golf trip, like, what do you do? If you get to talking like, right. Well, you must love your job. I said, I do 100% love it. There's so many perks, so many great things. And it's at times there's a job element to anything that you do. But if I wasn't doing this, I would be watching sports a lot.
Right.
And so when
sports hardcore sports. Yes.
What happened there?
That's what happens when you're out. You know, me and Rami were filling in, and we were doing a sports show.
Sports.
Where we just talk about sports. Hardcore sports. Yeah. Sports.
Hardcore.
That's all we care about is sports.
Yeah. But when I was away, I watched some of the playoff games, but I was not dialed into like every possession or social media hardly at all. I didn't even really look at anything.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Good for America.
Yeah. Honestly, it's easy. It's honestly easy for me to do, but I kind of need to for just information.
Yeah. I love explaining that to people as well, where it's like, you're always on your phone. I'm like, I guess I don't need to always be on my phone, but like there is a level of like
catch up you have to do.
I have to there's just a certain amount of things that I have to be up to speed on.
But also one of the things that hit me, it was it might have been Wednesday. I don't think I literally knew. So Tuesday would have been like our Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. Usually the Kings are in the NBA draft lottery. Right. And it's like, this is a huge day.
Biggest day of the year.
And I did not know it was, I'd forgotten. And then Wednesday, I think I picked up the phone. It's like, Spurs are going to get Victor. Oh my gosh, the lottery was last night. Had no idea, didn't pay attention. And in one sense, it was great. But that was a bit of stunning news for me to find out. And what was the reaction around everywhere when it was announced that the Spurs?
A surprising amount of disappointment. People were not happy. I know. I had the same reaction.
Because
I honestly don't. I think there's an element of like people feeling like it was rigged.
For the Spurs. Right,
which is hilarious. Just because they got, they've gotten their only first picks have been Tim Duncan and David Robinson and, whatever. Yeah, I don't agree with it. I was thrilled. To me, the Spurs was the most optimal location for Wemby.
You wanted him in the West?
I would much rather have Wemby in the West than have him in Charlotte and just die out there in Charlotte.
Yeah, so you could see him.
Well, more just like I have this thing, and maybe it's because I came up and I watched LeBron's entire career from start to finish. But when someone says like this guy has the chance to be great, I'm not rooting against that. Like I want to see greatness. And to me, the easiest path for Wemby to be great is the Spurs situation. I think it's great that they don't already have like a main guy. I think all the other options, Houston has Jalen Green, Charlotte has LaMelo Ball, even Detroit has Cade Cunningham, Marvin Bagley as well, James Wiseman. Portland has Dame and, Shaedon Sharpe and Anthony Simons as well. Not that Wemby wouldn't be the best of all those, but I like San Antonio as the situation, the basketball situation, but also the pop of it all, like the fact that Greg Popovich may be the best coach of this generation, gets the best prospect of this current generation. I think that's a fun storyline to follow. And, I just really think it's a perfect spot for him to go.
A couple of the things that I missed while I was gone. I did see this. I did spend a few minutes here on this where I saw the news about Monty Williams, which was surprising, but man, did social media just obliterate that. Just couldn't believe it. I thought, well, the new owner, it just, I didn't think it was right. I just know it's.
I didn't think it was shocking.
I wasn't shocked. It came a little bit out of nowhere, but
I think it's the wrong decision.
I agree.
But I agree with you. I just don't know if.
Yeah, but you get a new owner, and if they thought, I don't know. Whatever. They made that move. They got to live with it. So they're going to have to wear that. And then Doc Rivers was not surprising.
No, that one did not. I don't think that surprised anybody. Doc's reputation is kind of caught up with himself. I think at this point he's. Great coach, Hall of really good, kind of guy, but I just don't know if, do you think Doc gets another shot? That was kind of the big talking point around that. He's
pretty well connected.
He's been around the block at this point.
It may not be the one he wants,
right?
Like there's some good jobs that are open. I don't know that he gets one of those.
I think Doc would be good for kind of like a team on the up and coming. Yeah. I don't know if he needs to coach anymore. Like. He doesn't need to go to Milwaukee. Like, to me, that's another situation where he's walking in, a lot of pressure. All he can do is really fail. Unless he wins a title, it's going to be a failure for him. I like a situation, I know he initially came up in Orlando, but like a situation like that where it's a team that kind of needs a Mike Brown that could come in, is a proven winner, has coached some of the greats in the game, and really comes in carrying a certain level of cachet. And I think Doc is a good coach, but clearly something about these high leverage, high pressure games, he's just not able to have his team pull through.
I hope we cycle back into a little bit more continuity for coaches. I don't like where we're going here because like they're talking now, Joe Mazzulla, they're down 3-0 and
it seems like he's done.
Might be done. And you're going, is that the best idea? You just went from Brad Stevens to Ime Udoka to Mazzulla. You've had a lot of the same players. I'm not saying you have to blow this all up. Boston's good. They're going to be good. They can keep a lot.
4 years though.
I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, maybe you get more experience on the bench. Maybe you give him another run. I mean, I'm not on the inner working, so I don't know. But like, we're seeing some game results that don't look good. But there's more than just that, I think, to some of this. And I think if it's you didn't win a title, well, then you're firing everybody every year.
Right. And I think that's become the problem. Is that it is very much like a finals or but not even that. I mean, Jason, we're talking about guys.
3 of the last
Nick
5,
Nurse
right?
won a championship. Frank Vogel won a championship. He's no longer with the job. Monty Williams was in the finals, lost to Coach Bud, who lost his job as well. And so it's like
he won a finals.
It's really like what keeps your job. Even Coach of the Year. I think 5 of the last 7 Coach of the Years have been fired as well, and some of those have been fired immediately after winning Coach of the Year. And so it's just like I don't know what you have to do to be a long-term head coach in this league. I mean, the only head coaches we talked about earlier who really have any sort of longevity with their team is Popovich, Spo, and Kerr.
Right.
And besides that, it's really nobody else. I think I looked up a stat a couple weeks ago that said there was only, and this was before the string of firing, so it's probably even less, but there was only, I think, 7 or 8 head coaches that were hired before the pandemic. And now, I mean, Monty Williams was one of those guys in their current spots. Right. Monty Williams was one of those guys. Coach Bud was one of those guys. I believe Nick Nurse was one of those guys. Doc Rivers. What's Doc? I don't know if Doc, but there's tons, like there's nobody, we're talking 3 years.
Yeah.
And the league has almost completely turned over since then.
Yeah, I was just thinking about Mike Brown. He's already the 3rd longest tenured coach in the Pacific, right? Pacific Division.
Oh my gosh!
Because it's Kerr, then Ty Lue, then he was hired before Darvin Ham, right?
Wow.
And then Phoenix is
Monty's
looking
gone.
for a coach. He's 3rd in their division. That's crazy.
Yeah. And who knows how? I mean, Ty Lue's a fantastic coach, but if they Kawhi's not playing next year.
Yeah.
Not even for Ty Lue not reaching success, but maybe just they're going to go into a different direction.
Right.
And maybe Ty Lue doesn't want to rebuild.
Yeah.
You know, it's just crazy. I don't, to your point, I don't know what you have to do to win or to keep your job, especially not that job. I mean, it's an impossible thing to ask.
A couple of things I know that I missed, I wrote down here. I saw this, didn't hear a lot of it. What was the talk about the potential of Super Bowl 60 coming to Santa Clara?
Not much, honestly.
Okay.
Kind of came and went, but
it's not official though, is it?
It's not official.
Okay.
I think it's all but official. I think that they're bringing it up in the league meetings, but second time in 10 years, right? So 50, that'll be fun. Interesting though, because I don't fully remember when Super Bowl 50 was around. They did the festivities
in San Francisco.
Proper San Francisco, correct?
And the game obviously in 60. Yeah, because we covered it here. We had shows down there, and it was in some convention center, and yeah, it was great. Radio Row and all that kind of stuff, and the football, like the fan zone and all that stuff was more in San Francisco.
Do you think it worked?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's also part of why San Francisco is such a big city.
Right.
Well, it's not really big. It's got a lot of stuff going on in hotels and so on and so forth.
Right.
And Santa Clara is the drive, a little bit to get there. But yeah,
there's not quite the.
But we never I wasn't covering. That was Panthers and Broncos. I wasn't going to their practices.
Right.
We were doing more of the Radio Row and people that were in San Francisco. So
yeah.
I say it worked, but I wasn't the one that was bouncing around.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's should be good though. I mean, like it's a beautiful stadium.
Yep.
Obviously, it's got its problems for sure. It's got its problems.
You don't like it?
I hate Levi Stadium.
I think Levi has its problems for sure. I think it's aesthetically a nice stadium.
Yeah. Why do you hate it?
The sun's not great. The sun is very, very.
It won't be
the only time I go there for soccer games, and the field is always trash.
Okay. Yeah. I think they're trying to fix that. I don't know if they did fix it because they use real grass, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It's super expensive.
It is very
expensive. It's hell to get in and out of.
It is.
Anything else?
I'm trying to think.
The Super Bowl will be very cheap to get into, I'm sure.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like, I can't think of like one good thing about it.
I think it's really. I think it's a pretty.
You don't think it looks good?
It feels like a cookie cutter. Just like it doesn't look bad, but there's nothing special about it.
I guess I've only been to 2 games there. Sightlines were good, but I didn't have much trouble. Now we didn't park on site. We did the whole, take the shuttle or the train or whatever.
I do the light rail in.
Yeah,
I usually park at
park
at the Great Mall and take the.
That's what I did for WrestleMania.
It
took like 90 minutes just to get into a tram.
Yeah, they get packed. They do get packed.
We were super
scary packed.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been to I think I went to a U.S. Mexico. I might have given to a
U.S. Jamaica. I think we said that we were at the same match.
Gold Cup match, right? Was that the Gold Cup? Whatever.
Yeah, it was a Gold Cup.
Yeah, and it was
you enjoyed it. You did not.
No, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being there,
say,
but like it wasn't because of the stadium.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this is the case for all stadiums, but I have sat in the whatever 300s or whatever the upper deck is. That sucker's up there. You're definitely.
I know you're up there.
That is the true definition of nosebleeds up there. But that's kind of.
We need to get you an American Outlaws, Chris.
Oh,
way better.
I was next to the American Outlaws for that Gold Cup game, but like next to them, not in there. Need to be in there. That'd be great. Do you have the hookup?
Yeah.
Now we're working on some things.
And this is also, if I'm not mistaken, Vlad, this is going to be the same year. The Super Bowl is going to be the same year as the World Cup games. Correct?
Gold Cup. Yeah, World Cup.
That could be something.
Make sure the field's in good shape for soccer.
Right. Actually.
Yeah.
I could actually see that being an issue.
Yeah.
Because it'll be Super Bowl first, right? Super Bowl will be in February. World Cup will be during the summer.
Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah.
Probably a Taylor Swift concert in between.
Yeah. Definitely.
Shake it
Airport's not great either. Yeah. Shutting down Great America too, aren't they?
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Huh.
Santa Clara trivia as we continue. We've got more to get to when we come back. It's never happened, but it will at some point. Is this the year that an NBA team comes back from a 3-0 deficit? Can the Lakers, can the Celtics do it? We've got that next.
The 49ers 2023 schedule is out and filled with big matchups.
The 49ers start the season with a Week 1 showdown in Pittsburgh.
At home in Week 5 against the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
And a Week 13 NFC Championship game rematch with the Eagles.
Plus, get every 49ers game this season on Sactown Sports. Visit SactownSports.com for the latest team news and a full schedule breakdown.
Memorial Day is coming, and Elk Grove Kia has deals you'll never forget, like the hottest all-electric EV on the market, the luxurious EV6. Save big with lease specials of $10,000 below MSRP. Not just one or two, but every EV6 in stock. EV's not your thing? How about the sporty 2023 Soul GT line that you can lease for just $99 per month? Come look at all our exciting specials at Elk Grove Kia. Don't worry about credit. No credit, bad credit, charge-offs, repos. Don't worry. Our team has over 100 years of experience. Others say no. Elk Grove Kia says yes. $7,500 Kia lease cash plus $2,500 dealer discount equals $10,000 total savings for EV6 all in stock Kia finance credit approval required. Not all will qualify. 99 plus tax, 24 month lease, $10K per year, 20 cents per mile over, 0 security deposit required, $52.50 customer cash required, incentive residual of $17,781.95 subject to Kia finance through one approval. One of this payment GK 8781 210-533 offer expires 5/31/23.
Turn your highway into a smile way. Elk Grove Kia.
Cause the players gonna play, and the haters gonna hate.
Live and local, it's Chris and Company with Chris Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Well,
you don't like T-Sizzle?
This is a copy strike waiting to happen. My girlfriend's a big fan of the new T Swift album. Me, not so much. Have you heard that song Karma? Anybody? Simone, Karma? Karma? We heard it? Anybody? Chris? Karma? No?
I have not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
Okay.
Karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a cat laying on my lap. Yeah. Not a big T Swift guy.
You like that song?
No, not really.
He doesn't like music. Jason.
That is also true.
At all?
I just don't like.
He just doesn't like music that other people like.
That's not what it is.
What would be the top 3 artists you like? Or
I would say Frank Ocean. Love me some Frank Ocean.
Okay.
Frank Ocean can do no wrong. There's this like British like neo jazz guy named Tom Misch. Big fan of him. And then just as a general blanket, I'll throw Drake out there, but like that's more just like Drake's. You can play some Drake and I will not complain. It's not necessarily that I like love Drake or I like look at. I think there's been this narrative spun here that I'm like some Drake super fan, and I would like to shut that down. It's not that
you're a Tom Misch super fan.
Tom Misch super fan.
You're not.
Sure.
You're not a Drake super fan. You just think that he can do no wrong.
I think Aubrey Graham can do tons of things wrong. Drake is probably the most memeable human that's ever existed. It's just he kind of leans into it, which I appreciate. And like I think people don't understand that Drake doesn't take himself seriously either. And so we shouldn't either. I don't really have many Drake takes, but that is definitely one of them.
Drake take.
Frank Ocean, huh?
Frank Ocean, huge Frank Ocean guy. Like
that is a beautiful selection.
Frank Ocean can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Like absolutely. Besides never dropping an album, Frank Ocean can do nothing wrong.
I heard he messed up that Coachella set. A lot of people were upset about that as well.
Well, I mean, like, what are you going to expect? Like Frank Ocean is not, he's not Travis Scott. He's not going to set the roof off. Like he's super chill vibes. He's, like
what you were going somewhere else with that Travis Scott take.
He's not Travis Scott. That's what I will say.
But are you just in general not a fan of music?
It's more just like I have a couple friends who are just like audiophiles. Like they love music.
Yeah.
They, like the same way that I talk about sports, they've talked about music. And so I more am just like, and that's like my immediate circle of friends.
Yeah.
And so I've always just been one where it's like, they really know what they're talking about. I'm not even going to try. Like, I don't hear, my girlfriend's also a singer. Like, I don't appreciate music the same way that I think a lot of people do. Like, if something's got a good beat, I'm all the way for it.
Yeah.
I don't like there's so many times where I'll play a song from 2008 or something that I played religiously, and then I'll pay attention to the lyrics now, and I'm like, no idea that my 12-year-old self was just screaming like, you can fill in the blank, whatever it is. Like, I just don't notice it. Like, I don't break it down. I can't hear like, oh, this guitar is really doing it for me. Like, it's just like, does it slap? Yeah. All right. I'm for it. That's kind of like, it's really that simple. I don't know. I'm more of just like I hear it, I like it, or I don't, and I can't really break down for you what exactly I like, except for, oh, the vibe of this song is good, or like, yeah, the beat's good, or oh, I like what they did with their voice there. But besides that, like, I'm out. That's why I like Bruno Mars. Nah, like it's just Jason didn't know about this take. Just too calculated. Way too calculated.
We've had this conversation many a times, unfortunately.
Many times.
I will say this. It doesn't happen that often for me, but the first time not the first time I heard Bruno Mars, I'd heard of him before, but the first time I heard him perform Uptown Funk on SNL, I'm like, this is going to be a smash. I mean, it's just going to be a massive hit.
Yeah.
It hadn't been out yet. It just had the vibe of it, and I don't know if that means.
So you're a talent evaluator?
Not at all, but I don't know if it's the thought of that's being the calculated. I'm like, it's got a hook.
Yes.
You can dance. People feel good about it. I'm like, this is going to be a smash hit.
Well, that's what I think. It's just like
shame on him for making
he makes music that sounds good.
Right.
God, it's just,
so that's the calculated
he's trying
part?
to manipulate.
I enjoy these songs.
I just think that it's just like, he's trying to
make it money. Yeah. And make people happy.
Essentially,
and make memories.
he's just trying to cast the widest net possible.
Well, he hooked
And
me.
again, he's trying to he's making music specifically to play during wedding receptions.
Why do you hate weddings so much?
It's not. I love
Why do you
weddings.
hate
Open
love?
bar, I'm there.
Yeah, but you're
Say
talking
less.
bar, not music.
I'm not talking music. Yes.
Are you on the dance floor at a wedding?
No.
At all?
Not like, maybe for like a friend's wedding if the music is bumping, but
The best-
if you're playing Bruno Mars, I'm not stepping out there. If you're playing Cha Cha Slide, I'm not stepping out there.
Come on.
I agree with you, Chris.
Thank you.
Two times. The best time to like meet random people is like when the dance floor is open, because you will find some weirdos walking around that will have the best stories you'll ever hear in your life
that aren't on the dance floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you just go find them out. You just go like, hey, so what do you do?
Yeah.
Man, so you wouldn't get out on the dance floor at all, huh?
It's not that I wouldn't. It just has to be the right music.
Ocean.
Like I can't just go out there and be like, oh yeah, they're doing the Macarena or whatever. They're playing some Mambo Jumbo 5 or whatever. I don't
Just
know.
Mambo number 5.
Whatever. That too.
Mambo Jumbo.
I don't know. I don't appreciate music. I don't appreciate it. That's it.
Huh.
I just, it doesn't.
Riley says you're speaking the truth.
Wow.
It's your truth.
It's my truth for sure.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, there's a faction of people out there that have been silenced because Bruno Mars and
great.
Steph Curry, all these people. What? It's just they're universal love.
Oh,
and it's tough to speak out against it, but I'm here. I will be the voice. I will be your advocate.
Are you just contrarian?
That's why I'm the bad boy of media.
Are you just contrarian?
I think that's what a lot of people would argue.
Well, let me ask you this. Okay, I'm trying to get back into this music. Is there who would you say is the most popular person that you like?
Drake.
Oh yeah, you said Drake. I was gonna say the first two.
That's yeah.
Is there another one?
Honestly, I'm washed. Like I don't really like. There's not current artists that I'm like really.
They have to be
on.
current. Maybe icons, legends.
I mean, yeah, Prince is great.
Okay.
Michael Jackson music, great.
Okay.
Music. Yeah, like it's
all right. So you don't like hate when
Anderson .Paak, great.
Okay.
Got no problem with him. Trying to think if there's somebody who's just. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Bruno Mars thing is like very specific.
Okay.
Any female artists there, Chris? I don't think I heard any.
I don't know that
Any
are like
ladies?
really popping. Like Amber Mark is somebody who I really like. She's lesser known. Beyonce's great. Like I got no issue with Rihanna. Like no issue with Beyonce or Rihanna music.
Okay.
Janet. Never really made it to my my playlist. Janet Jackson.
He's lost.
Jason calls her Miss Jackson.
If you're nasty. Yeah.
I can hear someone laughing through the class.
Yeah, Chris set me up earlier today. I was talking about my golf. Nate was in there. He's asking me about the golf trip was, and then I said we drove, and then Chris in there said, and you listened to? And I'm like, I thought there was like a punchline. I thought there was a joke. Like he's like, what music did you listen to? And I thought,
do you listen to music out on the course? I just started doing that like early last year.
I would say this is a course like I don't know,
right.
etiquette-wise, you probably shouldn't, but yeah, I like to. Yeah. I like to bring it in the golf cart and just put a little
set the vibes up.
Yeah,
little Prince radio is always great. That's my go-to on Spotify.
Now I'm gonna have to listen to Tom Misch.
Big Tom Misch vibes.
Give me a song that you'll say you think I'm gonna like.
I mean, honestly, his music is just a complete vibe. I would suggest not just Jason. I would suggest anybody look up Tom Misch. I would say It Runs Through Me is pretty fantastic.
I'm listening to it in the break.
Please do. It Runs Through Me. Losing My Way is great. He really got all hits, no misses, to be honest.
Wow.
Like
That's an overstatement.
It is a true vibe. Tom Misch, if you're just trying to like lay out, listen to some music, listen to some jazz-ish music.
Okay.
It's great. He's got the London voice too, you know. It's great.
I'll have my breakdown of Tom Misch.
Can't wait.
And much more. Also, Carmelo Anthony calls it a career. He retires from basketball. We get back into can anybody, either of these two teams, come back from that 3-0 deficit. We're back with more Chris and Co. right after this on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
This is a McDonald's ad from 1978. Would this interest you? McDonald's new golden onion nuggets. Crispy, crunchy chunks of real onion. An onion nugget.
Why do you do this?
But isn't an onion nugget too much onion? No. It's a breading surface and then all onion in the middle. Javid.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Valley Strong Credit Union.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Monday. Welcome to the start of a new week. Into the afternoon, sunny skies, a bit warmer today as highs will head to the low to mid 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, capital, and everything in between. Learn about all the benefits of being a business banking member at valleystrong.com.
When you're ready to get properly fitted for golf clubs, join the thousands of Northern California golfers who visited the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio. Players of all abilities found the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio offers answers to questions about golf club fitting. You'll find a professional staff of fitters, major equipment brands, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan. See for yourself at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Call 916-808-2531 to schedule your fitting. 808-2531 for longer, straighter drives.
M&S Auto Sales is grateful for their many repeat customers. Ask one, and they might say they come back because it's the best car buying experience. Others come back to get the vehicle they want and save a ton of cash on a clean, late model, top-selling vehicle that they can be proud to own. The team at M&S Auto welcomes you, including first-time buyers. El Camino Avenue, just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
It's a myth to think you don't play golf well enough to get fitted for golf clubs. The professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio would argue that playing the game with golf clubs properly fitted to your body and swing characteristics is the best way to improve your game and have more fun on the golf course. With a professional staff of fitters, all the major brands of equipment, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan, the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is worth a look. See for yourself, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Schedule your fitting at 916-808-2531, 808-2531.
Let's change this to that by properly disposing of litter, picking up after our pets, reducing pesticide use, and regularly servicing your vehicle. Learn how to protect our waterways at BeRiverFriendly.net.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street, right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please, gamble responsibly, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for all your favorite models at low prices and payments, plus low finance rates and zero down deals with approved credit. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Hey, Scott, you look great.
Yeah, I'm feeling good and have a new job.
No, there's something different about the way you look.
To be honest, a few months ago, I had an amazing robotic hair transplant procedure at XL Medicine. It's called the artist procedure.
No way. Your hair looks completely natural, and you don't even have a scar. How did they do that?
Dude, the artist system is amazing. I have this fantastic hairline, and I'm happy with my results. XL Medicine could probably help you too, buddy.
Using the ARTIST procedure, Dr. Singh and Dr. Graywall can target and harvest healthy hair follicles with micron-level accuracy from the back of your head and transplant them where you need it. The procedure is painless, and you'll be back doing your regular activities in a couple of days. Ask Dr. Singh and Dr. Graywall at Excel Medicine about the ARTIST procedure. Call today, 916-932-4470. That's 932-4470 for a complimentary in-person or Zoom consultation, or on the web at excelmedicine.com. That's EXCEL medicine.com. See what the ARTIST procedure can do for you.
These are actors and not real patients.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Chris Watkins with your Sactown Sports headlines. Today, Carmelo Anthony retired from the NBA after 19 seasons. Carmelo Anthony last played for the Los Angeles Lakers in the 21-22 season and has not played at all this season. He retires as the 9th leading scorer in the league with 28,289 points. He was also named an NBA All-Star 10 times, was a 6-time All-NBA player, and a 3-time Olympic gold medalist. Tonight, the Nuggets will look to sweep the Lakers in LA to go on to the NBA Finals. The Nuggets took a 3-0 lead against the Lakers on Saturday, and Jamal Murray had another monster game, scoring 37 points to go along with 7 rebounds and 6 assists. Those are your headlines. Let's get back to Chris and Co. with Jason Ross.
Sitting at your desk, watch Chris and Company now. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
I love the way it flows. I love the way it grows. There's something in this sound that takes me far. It's like a special song.
All right. So I spent the break watching the video.
Yep.
Tom Misch. This is the song. It runs through me.
Yep.
Featuring De La Soul.
Featuring De La Soul, the great.
We did deem as well that we believe Simone was on bass. If you watch the video.
Yep.
I'm totally feeling it.
You're feeling it?
100%. 100%.
That makes me so good. Do we have on the other side of the glass?
I don't think they were as much as I was.
You guys are losers.
Yeah, I said it sounds like the music you would hear if you pulled up to a restaurant that was positioned over a beach. So not terrible, but it's.
So let me get this straight. Vacation vibes, not what you're looking for?
Yeah, but I don't know. Just like generic restaurant, some coconut shrimps.
Definitely no for me, dog.
The harsh critic. From Chris.
Okay.
I like the vibe. I also did if you close your eyes, I feel like you're getting the end credits of an Owen Wilson movie.
I hate you all.
But that's not in a bad way.
I think the best way to listen to it is to close your eyes and also your ears.
Oh, no.
You guys are just being hurtful now.
I'm with you.
You're just being hurtful.
I'm with you.
I
liked
also
it.
suggest Masego. Great jazz vibes.
No, this one was great. I'm with it.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah,
I'll send you all his music.
I'm gonna keep watching.
Thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
It runs through me.
Runs through us all.
Yeah,
we're
not that room apparently.
We're all part of the same miracle, man.
We're all part of the same miracle.
All part of the same miracle.
Oh my goodness. Well, will it be a miracle, Chris, if someone comes back for a 3-0 deficit? Because it's going to happen.
Anything is possible,
right? It did happen once in baseball. I don't remember.
Right?
I don't remember who did it, but
It was the Boston Red Sox 2004. They beat the Yankees.
I will have to fact check that.
See,
I'm not sure.
the Yankees went on a 3-0 run, and then they lost Game 4, they lost Game 5, they lost Game 6, and they lost Game 7.
Can you even prove this?
7 was actually pretty embarrassing because there was like 2 home runs by a guy that was batting like 100
Jason,
for the series.
should we just do this show, you and me? We don't even need the people on the other side of the glass.
Where's that song again? I want to play it. What were you saying?
Right.
They beat the Yankees after going down 3-0.
So can it happen in the NBA? Or this year specifically?
There we go. Yeah, we don't need to hear that. We don't need to hear that Verlad hate. I think no. Just to answer the
not
question,
these two.
No, I just don't think it. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think going down 3-0 in basketball is just a really, like, if you lose 3 straight games in basketball, it's also just really tough to win 4 straight basketball games after showing that you're not the better team 3 games.
Well, yes. I mean, I guess that's where it's got to get into
baseball's a little more random.
Yeah, it's got to get into the mental part of this, right? Because equally, if someone sweeps, they've just won 4 straight games.
That's true.
So,
That's a good point.
And I've heard people say,
point.
especially, I heard this was said when The Kings were up 2-0. Well, it's going to be hard for the Warriors to win 4 or 5. Well, that's exactly what they won. But if you win a series 4-1, you've won 4 or 5. Like, it's just we get kind of caught up into certain things. But, I mean, the reality is you just have to win the first one. Like, if you're the Lakers tonight. And then the Lakers would talk themselves into, look, we could have won game 2. We could have won game 3. Now, I don't personally think they're going to win, partly because I don't know that they're better. Boston might be better than Miami. Might. I think we thought they were. So
I
if
think they're on paper for sure. Yeah.
So if Boston won game 4 and figured out whatever they were last night, but again, these are all ifs, go back home, win game 5. I mean, again, you can see the roadmap. It's just it's never been done, but I think it's been done, 5 times where there's been a game 7. So that's
really?
weird that teams have actually done that. But they haven't completed the deal. So they've actually made it. I
was going to say, what do you think's worse? Just getting
probably
I would just rather get swept, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, why?
Because the hope now you've won 3 and we're the better team now.
Right.
I don't know what those 3 games didn't matter before.
Right. No.
You lose the 7th.
That would be way, way worse.
But it will happen some point, right?
I think the only way I could see it happening in basketball is if somebody was injured.
Yeah,
and
like
then
if Jokic went out.
If Jokic went out, or on the other side, if maybe they didn't have Anthony Davis for the first 3 games and then he came back in the 4th game or something like that. Again, I just think basketball is too much of a throughout the completion of a basketball game, more times out of not, you're going to get the better team winning, especially when you play a 4-game. I just feel like when you play a 7-game series in basketball, you're going to get the better team. Maybe 99 out of 100 times, and maybe this is the one. Maybe you could argue that this Miami Heat series is that 1 in 100 times. I just don't think it's going to happen. It just feels so much less likely in basketball. Again, like traditionally in baseball, a game-to-game basis, like there's a lot of random factors that can go into a team winning. But I just think in basketball, it's so hard to just win one basketball game, and you have to have so many things go right. I just can't see that happening for 4 straight.
Do you know how many teams have forced a game 7 after being down 3-0?
Is it 6 or 7?
3.
Oh, it's only 3?
3.
When was the most recent?
Was it like 02 or 03 with Dallas, Portland?
03, Dallas and Portland.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's only 3? I thought there were 6.
03, Mavericks and Trailblazers. 94, Jazz and Nuggets. 51, Royals and Knicks.
We did it.
Hey.
Yeah.
On your way to a championship.
That's right. Wow. Okay. I don't know if it ends tonight. It very well could. I think the Lakers might win tonight. Might win 1. Again, the last couple have been close.
I think it's really tough because, in my opinion, like the Lakers blew their best opportunities to win. Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura putting up multiple 20-point games.
Yeah.
I just have a hard time seeing it happening again 3 times in 4 games. And I just, I think Denver's a much better team. Like I think the skill gap is at least closer in Miami, Boston.
Agreed.
I could see that happening, but I just feel like Denver, maybe Denver does, slip tonight, but I think Denver is just a much better team than the Lakers. I can't see them really slipping at all.
Also some news today about Carmelo and Anthony officially retiring from basketball. I remember he was at some of the Knicks games. I went, wait, is he retired?
Yeah.
And then
not officially, right?
Not officially till today. Great career, but he's going to be on that
strange career though. At the same time,
they're going to be on that list of guys that didn't get the title, but it's got Olympic golds. College championship will be a Hall of Famer.
Right?
What is he? Top 10 in scoring? Number 11 or 12, somewhere in there.
So you haven't been listening.
What number is he officially?
9th.
I'm looking at something that has him 11th. Oh, that's NBA, ABA. Sorry, there he is, number 9. He could have played.
Well, and then there's
about half a year more in past Shaq.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. With him having such a strange career, we forget that Melo was out of the league for what was it? A half? Was it a half a year? Was it a year and a half? I think it was a year and a half where he was just completely not on a roster. People felt like he was going through that weird transition that I think Russell Westbrook's kind of finding himself in now, where it's like, hey, dude, like you're not the star anymore. You cannot be featured like that. But if you want to come on this team and bring some of your tools, we can definitely use some of the things that you bring to the game. But we can't have you being a $25 million starter who's getting 20 shots a game. And, that kind of messed up his career trajectory a little bit, but it was good to see him have the renaissance as well. It was good to see him, have those years in Portland and then have the bubble year with the Lakers as well. I think Melo is kind of, he's more of a cultural piece to basketball, I think, than like cultural importance to basketball as opposed to like on the floor. Like when he first came in the league, he had the cornrows that were iconic, and he was one of the guys from the 2003 draft with LeBron and D Wade. It's just an amazing career, and it's I think he's almost like underrated as a career player. I think he's a terrific scorer, and I think just because he never won, and he wasn't the greatest teammate in terms of team basketball, but I think what he accomplished throughout his career was incredible.
More points than Akeem, Durant, who might catch him, Dominique, Oscar Robertson, Tim Duncan, Paul Pierce, Vince Carter, Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing.
To me, the Vince Carter,
Iverson,
like, is
Barkley.
he better? I think he's better than Vince Carter for his career.
Yeah.
He's not a better player than Kevin Durant.
No.
But not even close in my opinion. But I think like Vince Carter tier is probably the right tier for
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Famer, absolutely.
One of the game's great
Olympic
scorers.
Melo.
Yep.
Olympic Melo
really
was
good.
a real thing.
Yeah.
It was a real thing.
And his college run, I mean, that's part of the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Syracuse
it's the totality.
stuff, right.
So it's college,
Absolutely.
it's Olympics, and then certainly his NBA career. So congrats to Carmelo Anthony, who calls it a career. We will take a break. We'll come back. Final segment. I believe Rami and Jay will slide in here for a little bit. We'll check in with those guys. And we look ahead to the rest of the day here on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The King season might be over, but Sactown sports coverage never stops.
Expectations coming into the season and how we performed. I mean, it's one of the more special seasons that I've had in my 11 years.
Stay tuned all off-season to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news.
Pain is not normal. Repeat, pain is not normal. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here with the Good Feet Store. Does this sound familiar? It's the end of the workday, and the pain in your feet, knees, hips, or back is unrelenting. Good Feet understands that you've likely already tried assorted remedies and solutions with no relief. And now you're pretty much resigned to living with the pain. But do not give in to the pain. Instead, come to the Good Feet store for their end-to-end 3-step arch support system. Good Feet is the nation's largest manufacturer and retailer of personalized arch supports. With arch supports in over 300 sizes, styles, and flexibilities, and an arch support specialist in each store. Come in today for a free no-obligation arch support fitting, then take them for a test walk around the store or around the center. Experience the comfort, balance, and support possible with the Good Feet system. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now in Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
You could throw your flip-flop at a bug. Ew, a bug, get it. But the chances of actually hitting it over there are statistically, it's still alive. Unlikely. Good thing nature's got your back. Stem bug killers combine powerful active ingredients found in plants, like lemongrass and geraniol, and scientifically engineer them into effective bug-fighting formulas, safe for use as directed around people, pets, and throughout the home. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Isn't it nice to get exactly what you want? Introducing the new My Plan from Verizon. Control what goes into your phone plan and what stays out of it. And now, get the amazing iPhone 14 Pro on us when you switch with Select Trade-In and Unlimited Plus. Get iPhone 14 Pro with My Plan at your Verizon store today. It's your Verizon. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line required. $200 Verizon e-gift card sent within 8 weeks with port-in. Less up to $800 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions and additional terms apply.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. CalHope can help. Access CalHope's free and secure mental health resources. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org.
Sitting at your desk? Watch Chris's company now. YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
All right, final segment of the show. It's Chris and Co. He's Chris Watkins. I'm Jason Ross. It'll be this tandem all week.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up, it's normally Cattles and Rami, but today we got Rami and Jay. And Rami's in studio, ready to roll here.
How are you guys?
Great.
Not
How are
quite
you?
ready to roll.
Not quite ready? We'll stall. We got time.
We can stall. We can,
No, it's fine. I'm getting there, though. I'm getting there.
I will say, like, sometimes when someone does something that just hits the sweet spot, you had one perfectly this weekend on Twitter, I thought, when I don't know what Simone was doing, but something where she was, like, in the Mona Lisa.
Oh, she'll actually explain that later on the show.
But you
today.
called her Simona Lisa.
Simona Lisa.
And I was like,
that is super solid.
I was like, that was it. That was
It is,
perfect.
yeah.
I was in a rhythm already. I was on a roll when I sent that because I don't know if I should say this on there. It's kind of,
well, you're this far in.
Yeah, I was like, you already did.
It's kind of mean. It's a little mean. My buddy, he was just out somewhere with his family on Saturday, and he was like, "Oh, this live band is playing in this restaurant." He sent a video, and a few of them were heavy set, like they were just heavy set dudes, which I also am. So we started reeling off and just exchanging heavy set band names, like
Perfect.
spins on exist. And I had 45 of them.
What was
your comic juices were flowing?
What was the hits?
Oh man, people really liked Stevie Wonder Bread.
Oh, that is fantastic.
I had a bunch.
Okay.
I mean,
on the roll.
that was just
Nice.
I was in a good rhythm. I was already in a good rhythm.
But
Yeah.
Simona Lisa was
I had
perfect.
the Eatles.
Eatles is great. Fed Zeppelin.
Oh, there you go.
I had Led
sorry.
Zeppeli, the Italian pastry.
Oh, I didn't know what a Zeppeli is.
It's an Italian pastry.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a bit of a reach. Most of them were better
you're
than
just
that.
cultured, you know? Yeah.
More well-rounded. Well, I shouldn't say it that way.
Wow, well played.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that way. So everything good with you?
Yeah, it was
Yeah?
a good weekend. I did nothing because last weekend
That's
I was in
great. Yeah, you
Vegas
did too much.
and I
Oh,
did a
that's
lot
right.
of everything. And this weekend I just
What does
wanted to
nothing
do-
though mean to you?
Um,
Because some people's like, I did nothing, and then they'll say like they did 18 things.
like I went to the gym on Saturday. Walked the dog a few times. You got to do that, otherwise your house is
Get a
yucky.
mess.
Yeah.
Clean the apartment.
Okay.
Just around the house kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Went grocery
Essentials.
shopping.
Okay.
Yeah, just chilled.
Nice.
Watch some baseball. Watch a bunch of basketball. Watch some blowouts all
Yeah.
weekend long,
I know.
which we're going to talk about to start the show.
I know. I know there's circumstances that doesn't have Nick here this week,
Yes.
but man, Boston, what is going on with his
I
team?
don't know. If somebody out there might have picked the Heat. That's
To win the
possible. You know what I
series,
mean?
right.
They might have shown you something in the first 2 rounds. Nobody saw this coming.
No.
Like the Celtics just laying down and dying, just laying
Rolling
down and
over.
dying for Jimmy Butler and the Heat. It's shocking when you watch it.
Yeah, as someone who loves Petty, you have to love the Jimmy Butler's like he's putting on a
my
master
Jimmy
class
Butler,
right now.
yes,
Yeah,
just my
the
grade.
tea,
Yeah,
the Al
love the-
Horford timeout
Actually, we're
thing was.
dedicating a whole segment to
Should.
the pettiness of
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler.
Oh,
It's-
can't wait.
And is there another level, or did he just reach it? Did it peak yesterday?
I don't know.
Because what else can he bring out now?
Oh,
I don't know.
he can like show up in like full Celtic outfit or something for the game. There's something.
Wear a Larry Bird jersey.
Yeah.
For
Oh
to
my
close it out.
gosh.
You know what I
And play
mean?
like the Rick Pitino. Larry Bird's not walking through that door with his Jimmy Butler and Bird jersey. Man. Yeah, like the Nuggets make more sense. What's happening? But
Yes.
the
Right.
Lakers have been competitive, but the Nuggets are just better, right?
Yes.
This is a better team.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I gotta admit, I mean, I knew the Nuggets were good, but I didn't know they were this good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe I just didn't watch enough Nuggets basketball. Maybe I was doing what a lot of other people do, which is, Jokic's game isn't that sexy. He just makes the right play and the right shot, like 99% of the time. And so it works, and he's very effective. But yeah, man, they're a really, really good basketball team. And I said this on Friday on the show, something that dawned on me when I was watching game 2 of the conference finals on Thursday was just, I started going down their roster, and their whole, we talk about the Kings core and it all being, between 22 and 27 or whatever their ages are. Their whole core is really between 24 and 27. They're going to be a problem for a while. Like if the Kings are going to get where, we all would like to see them get, it's going to be through the Nuggets. They're not going to age out or be phased out anytime soon.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring the whole mood of the show
down.
down.
That was a game changer. I'm already thinking about next year's lottery.
Yeah. I'm looking at it now, and you're completely right. I mean, yeah, Jamal Murray, 25. Aaron Gordon, 27. Michael Porter Jr., 24. Bruce Brown, even 26. Jokic, 27. Like,
Jokic is only 27.
Only 27 years old.
Is he real?
He's
a real part.
If you told someone like, "Oh, this guy's 42," they'd be like, "Yeah,
Plays like it, moves like it."
His brothers are though, right? Those guys, are they still trying to fight everybody?
I don't know. I haven't seen his brothers anywhere for a while. Have they been at games?
Yeah, they were
Simone
mocking.
seems to know something. Yeah,
they were mocking Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Very pugnacious. They're ready to go.
They really were saying, like, telling him bye when he was leaving the court.
Boy.
Yeah.
Wow. Jack.
Yeah.
Wow.
They went after Jack. That's sacred ground.
Jack looks like a lunatic.
Yeah.
Like he
looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's all there. Yeah, for Jack right now. But
It had been like what 3-4 years since he'd been to a game until this year. Yeah. Yeah, he was kind of in hiding. He was reclusive.
Yeah.
Very not acting, not going to Lakers games. He was just keeping to himself.
The important question we asked earlier in the show: have you seen any of the Fast movies?
Not a one. Not a single one. Am I?
No, us three are the same.
Yeah.
Chris is ready to see number 10 tonight.
Am I? Oh, neither of you have seen it.
No,
wow.
not a single
Okay,
one.
this is one of those where I usually find myself being like the
only one?
outlier, the only one.
I mean,
in
you
the
guys
room.
are all old as hell, so that kind of makes sense.
Wait.
What?
Watkins is old.
I mean, if you listen to his taste in music,
my takes, get off my lawn takes.
And I'm into the Marvel stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not into old people stuff. Verlad, you know that about me. By the way, I just finished Beef, Netflix show that Verlad recommended to me. That escalates quickly. That's all I'll say, man. That escalates quickly in the last 3 episodes of that show.
You realize in 9, we learned this, that in Fast 9, what's it called? 9?
Fast 9, Fast Furious 9.
Okay,
It might have been
great
It might have just been like Fast and Furious.
They got into space. Exactly.
Yes.
And see, like, how great is that?
In a car?
Yeah.
Of course.
And it's probably, and seriously, in that movie, probably not the most unrealistic part of that movie.
That writer's room has to be great.
Yeah.
Like it's
Let's
literally just
try
whatever
this.
you throw. No bad ideas.
Wasn't 9 the one with the submarine?
That was 8.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you went from undersea to space? Like, they literally
Where else are you
covered-
going to go?
That's true. Yeah, but I thought it was
The
all in
road?
one movie.
Yeah, I was like, isn't it crazy that Rami gives the one with the submarine? Like, oh, wait, what about the one with the hot air balloon?
Yeah.
That's the one I believe. Was it The Rock? I think it's The Rock.
No, Chris, I just made that up. That's not an actual thing.
So they shoot like a torpedo, and The Rock gets out on the ice and kind of steers it away from where it
Of course
wants
he
to
did.
go.
These guys are talented.
Wow.
I just saw a clip of him too. I guess there's a scene where The Rock is like has a cast on his arm, and then he just flexes and breaks the cast and then rips it off.
That's in this one or a past one?
That's in 7.
Don't ask me.
What?
Yeah.
Daddy's got to go to work.
Oh, was that the line
Is that what he
before that?
says?
Daddy's got to go to
not
work.
say that. That is not an actual
That's
line.
one. He was in the hospital. His daughter was there watching. He was watching her.
Uh-huh.
He says, "Daddy's got to go to work."
2 thumbs down. I don't approve.
Chris, quickly, can you explain this familia thing? What is like what's the why is everyone always familia?
Because you don't have friends, you have family.
And that's just what they call each other.
Ironically, in 9, we find out that his actual family is not his family.
Oh no!
Oh my God! When
his
familia is
brother-
not familia.
His brother was kicked out of the family.
That's
Now I have to watch.
When familia is just fam.
Yeah, now it's got to go into 10. That's part of the storyline now, right?
I
How
think
many
he's
of these
thinking
do you
that.
think they'll make?
At
and
least
keep making
at
money?
least 12.
Isn't
said they
the
already have the-
tagline for this one the beginning of the end?
Yes.
So it's the
So this is in actuality a trilogy.
this
These
last
next
part.
3 movies coming up.
This will make it all come together.
Wait, 10,
Yeah.
11, 12 are a trilogy?
So like 5 and 6 were kind of like filmed together, and like 7th was supposed to be the end of that trilogy.
Now we got to get a baker's dozen.
How
Come
is
on.
there more Fast and Furious than Star Wars movies?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because Fast and Furious is good.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Where's Yoda? I know Yoda's not in here today.
Baby Grogu's
I
back
used
at
to
my
like
desk.
Verlad,
Yeah.
too. I used to like him.
Yeah.
I don't
A
know
lot of
about you
people
guys.
say that.
Yeah.
one other pressing thing. Did you ever have skate night or roller skating thing? Can you roller skate?
Oh, I mean, I haven't in a long time, but this has come up a couple times on my show. Growing up, like, I don't know, grade school, middle school, early high school, the place to hang out was like, it wasn't even a shopping center. It was like, they were basically warehouses, and it was the batting cage and the roller rink right next door to each other. So
you could skate.
Yeah, I could skate when I was a kid. I mean, it's not, I don't want to I'm not going to roller blade.
No,
that the physics of that and my body don't make sense. If you think of like inline skates, don't make sense. But roller skates, it's 4 wheels. How could you be bad at that?
Can you
know what
ice
I mean? No, that I haven't really even tried. No,
it's kind of the same thinking as the inline.
Yeah,
thing,
no, the physics of that.
Yeah,
those tiny blades.
I would
my
think
body.
That's the most impressive part of hockey for me is the fact that it's like they're playing the sport, but they're also skating. Like they're also like incredible, just
forward, backwards.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Doesn't matter.
High speed, sideways,
pushing
they're
people,
fighting each other. They're like fighting on skates.
Yeah. Maybe that's the next fast move.
They're already on ice. I already established it.
All right. Well, Rami, have a great show.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes. All right, that's coming up next. That's it for Chris and Coast. Keep it right here to Sactown Sports.
It's Cattles and Rami.
Their second pick was already traded, and the pick that went yesterday to Orlando, that was only protected in the Vucevic trade where they sent that one to Orlando.
That is a bad
That was only
trade.
protected. You don't have to tell me that, Kyle. You didn't have to